Right.
Sold us souls.
You know, I don't think we did our little intro the last like 5 shows. Well,
Oh, the mouth moves too? What the
yeah,
fuck?
it moves.
Sometimes we just kind of start.
I didn't even realize it moved. Holy crap.
$10 at Walgreens, buddy.
Whew, that's awesome.
We're all the way live.
Are we really?
All the way live. RWK, what's going on?
Oh, he's in the room. Okay. Well, I'm dead, just like Jim Ryan's career. Oh man,
What is happening? Like we've been just.
I don't
just
know.
been
You're the
crazy
guy
news
breaking all the
breaking.
news, Anthony. You broke
I don't
CM
know.
Punk getting fired. You broke the Xbox Brooklyn. You broke all the other stuff. Now you broke today. I'm sleeping. And then you tell me you were right. We were right. He's gone. He's gone. I was like, what did you think was gonna happen?
Well, yeah, I mean, but it's just so funny that like now we have that solid proof because again, people weren't taking us seriously. It seemed for a little bit because we were, making jokes about it. But even,
The little guys on the right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, honestly, yeah.
Let's open the show. Hello
Let's
and
do it.
welcome to Game Complainers, episode 511.
Woo!
I'm your host, Barry.
Co-host Anthony.
I'm Fred.
And our special guest.
Boom, boom, come on! It's in the room.
Noof.
I apologize for my really cheap tablecloth up here.
It's better than Fred's.
I was looking for those. Jesus.
Good to have you on here, man.
Oh, yeah.
It's great to be here, guys. Thanks for the invite, and obviously some big news today, so be nice to get into it, actually.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
I'm Skeletor. I'm dead like Jim Ryan's career. For those of you that missed that little joke when we started 5 seconds ago. Yeah. We kind of called this.
Yeah, I mean, I think with just the way that these events are kind of happening between, what's going on with the Xbox stuff the other week. We have, Xbox news this week as well. And yeah, it was around, I think it was around like 4 or 5 p.m. today, Eastern Standard Time. The new management structure for Sony is underway. So basically, he's going to retire. He's going to be retiring by March of 2024. So he's been with the company for almost 30 years. So, Oh.
Holy
Well,
crap.
Arnold, what do you have to say about Jimbo getting the axe? And we're not talking about deodorant. Mike Mullis, what's up, man?
What did you say? I want to hear that again.
What do you have to say about Jimbo getting the axe?
It's about freaking time. I mean, my God. I'm going to go broke trying to play for all of his PlayStation stuff. I'm over here. I got to go make more shitty movies, even though I'm almost like 90 years old and I'm soon on the coke. But I mean, you know what I mean? He keeps raising the prices. He's raised prices more than Viagra has raised erections.
Oh man.
Mike says, my brothers. Mike, it's awesome to have you here, man. Why couldn't he announce the guy when you were alive? That always happens to us, Mike. Every time breaking news happens, it's the day after Wednesday. And we're like, oh.
Yeah, it's either right before or right after. It seems like we can't win with that. But
I know that,
it's all
Arnold.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think this is Jim Ryan. The writing was kind of on the wall for this. He's going to be replaced by Hiroki Tataki. So how do you feel about him, Ari?
He's an interim. Uh-oh.
Honestly, the way everything was going, I was going to say the guy that Alina Khan was going to become the new CEO. The way Twitter was going, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, she's got a hard on for Xbox. She wants to take them down at all costs. As a matter of fact, she's even getting ready to bring back some other counter objection to get it back into court. What the fuck is going on? Did somebody sue this lady and get her out of there?
Oh man. Holy crap. Yes.
Oh, I mean, it's kind of interesting too. The how this news kind of goes hand in hand with like what's been going on with Xbox and the FTC. We have that to talk about too. But it's just kind of funny how like these events are kind of lining up, and this is definitely a crazy last quarter of the year where we're just getting a lot of these like shifts and these announcements or leaks. Like it's definitely starting to pick up with some of that stuff. And man, I mean, I think, and it's funny too because Phil Spencer also put out like oh, you did good, Jim Ryan. He says he tweeted out, he says Jim Ryan has what I just lost it here. Hold on. What did he say? He says Jim Ryan has been a great contributor to our industry and a fierce leader for
Yeah,
PlayStation.
he should have
I
just
wish him the
tweeted we
best."
won. Like, I don't know. Look, the whole thing with Jim Ryan though, we knew it. If that deal
Yeah, we've
went
been
through,
kind of
he
talking
was
about
out.
this.
And if that deal didn't go through, Phil Spencer was going to be out.
Yeah.
Someone was getting the axe, and Jimbo won the lottery, I guess.
Yeah, I mean,
I disagree with
go
you.
ahead.
I don't think Phil Spencer would have gotten an axe if the deal didn't go through. I mean, it's at the end of the day. I mean, this whole deal wasn't just orchestrated by him. This is obviously, obviously it might have been implemented or suggested, but I'm sure at the end of the day it was it was a conglomeration. It was obviously their investors. They probably talked about different avenues that Xbox needed to see extensive growth in. I mean, the console side of things has definitely been shrinking, but we definitely know that cloud was where they were pushing, and definitely the cell phone side of things to sort of crack that market in East Asia and stuff like that, places where Xbox is notoriously extremely failing. You know, it's pretty funny when they're talking about Xbox growth. Well, the Xbox Series S or X has like the biggest sales ever, and then you look at the sales from one of those charts over there, and it shows like, hey, they sold like 200 units, and it's like next to like the Switch, which sells 250,000 units. You're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Right. So they needed to do something. I don't think he would have got the shot because I think overall the difference between him, Phil, and Jim is that Phil at heart is he is a gamer for the gamers, but he's also having to pull the corporate suit side. And I think sometimes he doesn't like that. You kind of feel that he's got to toe those lines that probably pull at his heartstrings, and he knows it's probably not maybe the best avenue. But again, when you've got so many moving parts and so many guys that you got to keep this side happy and this side happy and your investors happy and then your CEOs and those people happy. It's a tough grind, right? And they still got a long way to go, but they've certainly come a long way, especially since the Xbox One early days and sort of the debacle that we had to go through for the last leading up to here.
Right. No, yeah, you're right. Absolutely right. I kind of I don't know why, but I'm getting this Sega vibe with Sony right now, where Japan's going to take over again. And it's just, is this the beginning of the end, or is this the beginning of something good? Like, I don't know.
I mean,
they're saying Jim Ryan, he doesn't want to fly to America and Europe anymore. It's like he had no problem flying to Brussels like 55 times last year.
yeah, and that's the thing too. It's like, but by the time a lot of this stuff is, especially with how I think some of the Sony stuff has been, pretty questionable lately with like their service, their VR2 pricing. There's just been like weird things that they've been, trying to like they've had some balls to make some of those choices. And I just think that that's a lot of the stuff that's going on kind of inside and outside. I feel like is also just kind of like the changing of the guard will happen like you said, Perry. Like I wonder what their next game plan is now, especially because we have yet to see and I'm sure we'll talk about it, but we've obviously we've only seen the leak stuff of the PS5 Slim or the removable disk drive. So we know that obviously they're planning for a mid-gen refresh, and now that they, there
he is,
Chief is
Master
here.
Chief.
He's setting it
Well,
straight.
let me just tell you guys something. Phil Spencer was definitely an orchestrator for helping save my career and Xbox.
Will he
Now,
put
the
you back
funny
on the
problem
box?
is,
Yeah, we
Yeah.
put you
I
back in the
got my
box.
ass cheeks, and that's
Sad
2
day.
weeks ago. Okay, so everybody has seen my ass. So that's the worst it's going to get.
Master
Where's
Cheeks.
Cortana? Where's Cortana at?
What's Cortana at?
Cortana is in my head. I wish she was on my head.
Oh man.
Oh boy. I'm out. I'm terminating my contract with Xbox. See you
Ugh.
guys.
Liquor Sandwich in the
there's-
chat says, with Jim gone,
Holy
we have to
shit.
finish the fight. Finish
Someone's
the
got
fight.
someone's got to finish the fight.
Oh
Yeah,
boy.
I mean it's a very it's a very crazy kind of like, you know, again, like with how these companies are kind of handling this, you know, mid-gen refresh, so to speak. Now that we have, you know, another switch up on the Sony side, I'm just curious to see, you know, how this, you know, because obviously we have a long way to go. You know, we're expecting the brand new Xbox to be, you know, in 2028 at this point. So it's like we have such ways to go. And it really does feel like this generation is like, you know, the console generation is just such at a weird spot right now where it's like we are getting some really, you know, good games. We just got Starfield. We're going to be getting Spider-Man 2, but it's like it's almost been 3 years in November. And I feel like with some of these switches, whether it's, you know, a Jim Ryan or let's just say, you know, if something were to go down with Phil Spencer, you know, if these switches happen, you would just hope that they would be, you know, for the benefit. But obviously, you know, with what's going on now with Sony, I'm just curious how they're gonna, like Perry said, are they gonna navigate that towards like more of like, you know, keeping it in home with that Japan kind of, you know, leader, and just be like, all right, yeah, we're gonna have, you know, we're gonna have this this next phase of Sony, which again, whether or not they actually hit it out of the park with a mid-gen refresh, you know, I guess we'll see what happens. But yeah, I'm very this news just, we talked about it for a while as far as like it actually happening, and now with just everything else, it just kind of lines up. You know, they just put out a big statement, and you know, they've just said he was a great leader throughout the whole period of, you know, the last few years and blah blah blah. So it's like, you know, they're trying to just give him a proper send off, but it's
Yeah.
like, yeah, the writing was kind of on the wall for a little bit that this might happen.
Yeah. Also, like, you know, like you said, like, you know, like last time when we announced the like the new Xbox coming out and stuff, like, is Sony taking notes right now? Like, you know, like, are they like, you know, like, okay, let's do this and that. Like, this could actually be the fresh start that they are looking for, because like,
I hope so.
obviously, like, for
PlayStation
this, like, couple-
needs variety,
yeah.
in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Yeah.
I think what happened was everyone was on 360. Then the whole thing with Xbox One happened, so they all jumped on PlayStation 4. Sony was like, "Great, we could put PS3 games on PS4 because these people never played them before." And then they've been running with that all the way up to the 5, and I'm like, "We need variety, man. We need like PS1 and PS2 variety." Because in my opinion, those are the best two PlayStations.
Oh
Right.
yeah.
I mean, 3 was
Definitely.
okay, but 4 is all right. 5's all right, but we need to get out of that PS3 type third-person thing. Give us the
Yeah.
Parappas, give us Twisted Metal, give us SOCOM, give us all these games back.
Yeah, bring back Siphon
That's
Filter.
true. They
You know,
they definitely
man.
need a little more variety in their portfolio. It's a little bit. I mean, it's great. Don't get me wrong. The games
Yep.
they've been putting out are amazing, but yeah, it wouldn't hurt to have a little more diversity. Xbox has certainly taken that lead, whereas PlayStation's just been happy to kind of stick with the status quo.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Not to mention, I mean, largely, I mean, two of their last biggest games, God of War, Ragnarok, and Horizon. What do you call it? Forbidden West.
Yeah.
Zero Dawn, yeah.
You know, are largely like, you know, at the end of the day, yes, they're new games, but anybody who's played the first two can tell you that, you know, these sequels, quote unquote, didn't really feel like full fleshed out sequels. They really did feel like just expanded upon, or almost like extended DLC. I hate to use that.
Yeah.
I know these guys put a lot of time and work in, but at the end of the day, they didn't have the same magic as the first couple of games, in my opinion. I don't know if you guys felt the same way.
They shouldn't have been $70. They should have been like just like a DLC.
What's that? Wait, what's that? What's that to do with the game? Okay, you said they should have been DLC. I don't look. Obviously, they had to. We know how this
They had to make
works.
their money back.
Yeah, they gotta get their money back. They gotta pad out the
Mhm.
lineup because some games
Yep.
might not be ready. So that's
Mhm.
what they do. Mike Mullis, shout out to him. Him and Dreadpool wanted Newf on here. So Noof's here.
That's awesome. Yeah.
There you go. Mike Mullis, Triple, two of the finest guys in the community. Absolutely.
Jamie on,
Hell yeah.
congratulations. He got a house or he got a place.
Nice.
Congrats.
No.
Nice. Congratulations.
I got mine about a month ago. I closed on it, so that's it. Not for me, but I had to help out a family member. So that's done. But me and Jamie on for almost 2 years, 3 years. We're trying to find a place for our family, you know? And,
Yeah, dealing with that system. Yeah.
it all concluded around the same time. So
No.
congratulations, man.
That's awesome.
You don't mind me saying, you know, when it comes to Phil and it comes to Jim, I mean, Jim, I envy Jim, and I'll tell you why. Because he was lucky enough to ride the coattails of a very strong PlayStation 4, right? Like, he came in while PlayStation was still riding its high, basically just took over the reins, and it was almost like, how can you fuck this up, right? You know, Sean Layden just kind of stepped aside, and it was kind of like he took it over, and it is what it is. But Phil, I mean, Phil has had nothing but an uphill battle, right? Like, he had to first, you know, re-sign contracts, build confidence in Japan, basically rebuild faith in the fan base. This is wholeheartedly why the Xbox One X existed, more so than anything. It was to kind of prove that these guys could still build hardware that we wanted and was capable. You know, he had to do so many different things, you know, to kind of right the wrongs, or to get away from that stigmata that came from, you know, the Xbox One and the dwindling fan base, and then the Kinect years, which, you know, carried over from 360 and almost killed Xbox altogether. So he had a big uphill battle, and I still don't envy him. Like, he's still got a lot of work to do, but, you know, like I said, it was easy for, I shouldn't say the word easy, but I mean, Jim had it relative. He just had to take over a successful product, you know what I mean? And yeah, that was it. And during his tenure, what I'm trying to think of is, what legacy did Jim Ryan leave behind? Because honestly, the only thing that strikes my mind is lackluster PSVR 2 launch,
raising the prices.
Yeah, a lot of games, like not a lot of releases in the time window of PS5, and that sort of thing. You know what I mean? Like what is his legacy left behind? Because like I said, the prices, like, he raised prices on almost everything. It was like they think like, oh, PlayStation fans are gullible, they'll pay for it, let's do it.
Well, I mean, they're tweeting at him directly. Hey, I'll pay $100 for Last of Us Remake or whatever. Guess what? They sent you the squished $100 edition in the mail. Like, they listened.
Yeah,
the fact that one game exists 3 times is already flabbergasting to me.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, what they were asking, and they didn't put it on their service. And that was another thing, too. Like, their service just launched so, you know, half-assed and lackluster. And again, that's also another thing where they were charging people more to try to sign up for this service that wasn't really quite there. And like you said, yeah, it's almost like, yeah, what is that legacy that he kind of left behind towards the end here? Like, yeah, he kicked off this console launch, but it wasn't a very pretty launch because of everything that was going on, obviously outside of their control. But like, that's the one thing he'll probably be, they mentioned that in the statement, like, oh, he got us through, you know, 2020 onward and all this stuff, and it was tough. And like, yeah, I'm sure it was tough for all these businesses, these, you know, these businesses that have a bunch of money. But it's almost like we didn't have we just didn't have a big like punch right out of the gate with both of these consoles, honestly. But yeah, go ahead.
Didn't anyone else just kind of feel like with Jim Ryan, it was a lot of mixed messaging the whole way through the PlayStation 5 launch? Like, first it was about generations, and that turned out to be BS. Then it's about back compatible, nobody plays old games. That turned out to be BS. Now they bring back the old games, or remastering the old games for the second and third time. Then it was all about, you know, trying to stay price agnostic and kind of keep things down, but yet then they started raising all the prices. And, you know, then it was kind of like, well, you know, Game Pass services don't really work, but then they go out and basically try to emulate everything that Xbox does. In that retrospect. I mean, do you see what I'm saying here? It's like, ever since he took over, it's just like he doesn't know, or somebody doesn't know what the hell the left hand doesn't know what the right hand is doing. You know what I mean? Like, it's just the message is. Then it was the Ratchet and Clank. Well, it can't be done without the solid state. Well, apparently it works pretty damn good on everything else. You know, and you know, all sort of the, like I said, God of War Ragnarok is really, at the end of the day, it's more of an extended DLC. Spider-Man Miles Morales essentially was an extended DLC. Spider-Man 2 looks like it's, to be honest with you, from what I've seen, it's going to be probably a great game, but it still looks like extended DLC.
Yeah.
You know? these things
Right.
don't ooze of new. Like, couldn't they have taken Spider-Man with all the lore and all the comics and kind of gone to a different place altogether and not even had New York in there? Maybe he goes on vacation to the Bermuda Triangle or some freaking thing and fights some paranormal
It's funny
shit. I don't
because
know.
he does go on
Right?
vacation to Miles Morales, but then Miles just takes over. You know what I mean? So we don't even know.
Yeah.
You know, Peter could get in trouble
know.
anywhere. Doesn't have to be New York.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like some of the decisions are safe or trying to play it safe with also like, it's just them trying to, try to stay comfortable with what they've been doing, but it's also like, yeah, like not everything like something like a Ragnarok or another Horizon is going to really like, hit it out of the park. If obviously even like the first Horizon in my opinion, like it was okay, but like the first God of War I feel like is miles better than what Ragnarok was, what it turned out to be. So yeah, it's just trying to kind of like navigate through those last few years that Jim Ryan was here. Yeah, it was very very just like it just didn't seem like there was that communication going across the board
Really
between
quick,
everybody there.
want to say shout out to Richard with a $2 Canadian super chat. Maybe now we'll get someone who values backwards compatibility. Maybe we'll get someone that gives you that Bloodborne remake that you want.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean it was just a lot of weird like back and forth, like and those promises and yeah, just how they announced everything. Those live streams that were horrible in 2020, like those events were just awful. I remember Perry would stream them all the time, and I would just be like, "Are we like seriously still not getting a price or a pre-order?" Like they would just drag on forever. Like the whole rollout of these consoles were very interesting this time around. Let's just say that.
Yeah, PlayStation finally invests in a portable. It's not even technically a real portable. This
Yeah, I mean,
portal or what's it called? A portal? Is that right?
Yeah, Portal.
Yeah.
It keeps
Portal
the acronym PSP, but it's Portal.
Come on, guys. I keep telling people you had legitimately the perfect portable staring you right in the face for years. It was the Vita. All you had to do was go and beef up the specs, make it compatible with all this shit, and voila, you wouldn't even have to really invest in a ton of new hardware because the Vita still would kick like the Switch's ass in a heartbeat, for everything that had in it. So I don't understand why they just couldn't have just remodeled that a little bit, beefed it up, and there you go. They would have had a portal. They wouldn't have had to invest in all new crap, and people would have been a lot happier.
They're more worried about their $100 memory cards than the Vita itself.
I call this the portable shit box. That's a PSP because right, the portable shitty portal because that's all we're gonna do is we're gonna buy one to use it on the toilet. Right?
Yeah, it's like
you're right.
You can't take it anywhere else, right? I mean, they
wipe
want you
your
to,
ass with it,
Yeah, it's like you got to play it.
I'm dunked, wife. Hand me over that big bulky thing so I can connect my cell phone.
And it's like I don't know. I feel like they kind of just handed that market to Nintendo, completely once they kind of backed away from that.
Remember the PSP was gonna completely decimate the Nintendo DS.
Oh, right.
That guy.
Yeah.
I think the problem there was the Nintendo 3DS should have purposely not have been as successful as it was, and it was just taken off, and then they had to compete with the cell phone market.
Yep.
And the cell phone market got really huge right around that time. It was really coming into its own, and PlayStation just didn't want to invest. And like it's amazing, like they came out, had a perfect piece of technology, had some great launch games, and then after that, it was just like, sorry guys, we're not going to build any more games for it. You're on your own.
Yep.
They try to make it
seem
like they were
Japan.
Right. They try to make it seem like they were like really gonna not leave it behind. They tried to keep like reinstating that, and then I remember me and Perry towards the end were looking at it like they're not gonna keep that thing going much longer because we saw the Nintendo stuff just completely just go through the roof, and it was like that's I just feel like again the balls that they had between the PSVR 2 price point and this portable thing, it's like what's the real selling point here? Like I know there's like RE4 VR2 looks really good, but at the same time it's like, man, I can't justify spending $650 after tax and everything on that thing. I don't know.
Right.
It's VB with a $4.99 super chat. What's going on, brother? Mark Main is in the chat. RWK8, the King, Richard, Stevie Mac, Cannibal Ritual.
Thanks for being here.
Nick Noguera. Everyone's here.
Oh, yeah. That's awesome.
The Alchemist was here earlier. Where's Abbo? My buddy Abbo's not here? Dolby Abbos?
Whoa. You know what's crazy? I was 9 when the PSP came out.
What?
I was young.
I waited all night in my car at my job, Best Buy, to get the stupid PSP.
Oh my god, the original PSP, man! And like that thing had a great collection of games.
I had
That
to
was an
return it.
awesome console.
I waited all night, and I had to return the machine 7 times the same day. They all had dead pixels. And then
Wow.
the idiots at my job opened the core system by accident and sold them to everybody. And everyone's like, "Where's my free Spider-Man UMD?" Oh, there he is.
Hey guys, it's me, it's Henry Abbey. Maybe I'll make an appearance later on in the show. You guys just let me know, okay? Jim Ryan, you're crying, you're lying, and you're going home, baby. See ya, don't let the door hit you on the way out, you cock munch.
Abo's right there in the chat. Don't forget to like and share. Subscribe.
Yeah.
The
Jesus.
King wants to go to
Christmas.
Silent Hill. I
Oh,
think that's
no.
where he ended up, King.
People were upset that wasn't shown at a Tokyo Game Show, but you know there wasn't much really.
I
to
don't
talk
think the
about
game
at
is ready
Tokyo
yet.
Game Show.
I think you'll see the gameplay around E3 time,
Yeah,
June.
probably sometime next year, and
and
they'll
I think
either
it'll be
put it out
released in
late
the
next year.
holidays.
Yeah,
Maybe
yeah.
October.
I mean, we'll see. You know, there's a lot of
October.
good survival horror momentum going on in gaming. So hopefully they keep that wave going. But yeah, I mean that's the one thing too about you know this news is I just think it's very interesting that yeah, it comes right after what we got, you know, the last few weeks with the new Xbox plan and everything. So yeah, I feel like the competition, you know, this is why the competition is good, because you have, you know, everyone kind of seeing what's going on.
Don't apologize, Noof.
No, you're good. But I don't know. I just think that there's it's going to be an interesting last half of this gen. And I think, you know, I want to really see how they go about announcing this mid-gen refresh on the official Xbox side, of course, like officially announce it, and how you know, Sony's going to handle their announcement as well.
Back from the dead. What's up?
What's up, back?
What's going on? Yeah, I mean, I think, and again, I don't know who is I don't know I'm not familiar with the history of the guy who's taking over.
Nobody knows. He's
trying to
interim
see- I was
too, so
gonna
he's
say.
not going to be the main guy for forever.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It's
Also,
kind of like
he's
what
just
Nintendo.
temporary?
It's kind of like what Nintendo did. Remember, they hired the old guy, and then he just like retired one day, and they got a younger guy in there.
Yeah, it's like he's just like a placeholder.
Yeah,
like,
they got to figure out who they're going to really put. I think they need to like look at their roadmap and be like, where are we going? Who do we need?
Yeah.
How are we doing
Definitely.
this?
I just love that you know, because there's like one thing I see on Twitter here where it's like Hiroki throwing out the trash, and it's like the PSVR 2, the PlayStation Portable, and
Oh
it's
man.
like, it's
You keep crapping on the VR2, but Noof has one. Anthony, you're in big trouble.
oh, I'm not allowed to talk about that. Uh-oh.
I love it. I love that PS4. You can shit on all you want, but you know I'm not playing that one on the toilet.
I mean, hey, I'm sure it's a great
I love
unit,
it, but
you
it
know?
has been a little
That'd
bit
be
like
impressive.
half decent launch, and then it's just kind of gotten a bit stagnant. I'm not happy exactly where the roadmap's been kind of leading ever since. It's just like it's kind of gotten forgotten about. I definitely think it needs a price drop like ASAP, especially now that PlayStation 5s are starting to be readily available in stores. These guys need to pick up their game. Otherwise, you know, it's pretty bad when the PlayStation VR seemed like it was miles ahead in terms of its marketing and the push, and this one is just like I don't know if they think the old Meta Quest is going to help, like sort of almost market it for it, because half the
Right.
games that are on PSVR 2 right now, as a matter of fact, are just Meta Quest like upgrades.
Yep.
That's true.
So, right?
Sony took some notes off of that, and because I did use the Quest 2, and it was awesome, especially for RE4. You know, that's
yeah.
basically why I got it. But it was still like you could tell Sony took the notes on that, and they're like, okay, how can we
Good.
kind of, you know, make something that's less wires hanging around? Like it's not like, you know, you're hooking up you know, a bunch of stuff, because it just looked like a mess when you sat down and actually hooked everything up to stream it, especially to connect everything. And yeah, it's like it seems like with this, like I know Resident Evil Village and Resident Evil 4
Yeah.
Remake are like the big sellers.
Mhm.
which is awesome. But yeah, like you said, like what is the roadmap beyond that? Because we know RE4 is coming out in the winter for VR as a free update, and so that's cool. But it's like, yeah, what goes on beyond that, and will that price drop happen? Because I would gladly get one, and of course I'd love to stream it, But
It's
that's
either
interesting
that
to
or
hear
as
your
someone
perspective
said they
too.
need to make it compatible with PC.
Right.
The more guy, because PC guys have legitimately admitted that it's impressive tech. It's a nice headset. If they made a way to play the PlayStation games through the PC and get more people into the ecosystem, I mean, it's cross compatible. It's cross play with a lot of the games, which is crazy because
Sure.
I'm playing like a couple of the games I was actually playing with PC crowd.
Nice.
So
That's
it kind of
cool.
makes sense. It's just like, so if you can do cross play, really, why would it be so detrimental to sell your headsets to PC guys who don't want to pay, $1,200 for a half decent VR headset when this thing is almost as capable as some of the best machines out there?
Yeah, that's really cool to hear your perspective because you've been using it, and that's the one thing too. Like, I was curious to hear that because it seems like there's that whole group of people on PC that are just like, hey, like, that would be awesome if it wasn't just limited or stopped by just this, this console entity that's there when, PlayStation's already kind of dipping their toe well into the PC stuff and stuff, hopefully getting there eventually with day and date with like a lot of their big titles that they're trying to put out. But I just think that, it's like a lot of the stuff that they announced with it. Yeah, I just thought there would have been a little bit of a stronger kind of push because I feel like the main thing that they kicked off the first VR with was like, they had a couple of their smaller VR games and then it was Resident Evil 7 like shortly after, and they kind of rode that for a little bit too. So like Capcom does well with them and that deal that they got going on, but it's almost just like, we needed for this price point, I feel like they needed a lot more of a roadmap like you mentioned. It seems that way.
100%.
Yeah.
I'm still waiting for Resident Evil 4 on the iPad.
Liquor puss.
I know, I laughed at that before.
You know what? This gives me an idea now. I should run a Resident Evil D&D themed campaign.
That's all right.
Oh,
I'm kidding, Fred. Nick
There
Noguera
you
has
go.
gifted
Dude,
Stevie Mac
No,
a membership. Thank you.
Nice.
the
Thanks,
one
Nick.
downside, like Resident Evil's an amazing game. Obviously, the VR aspects of it make it even a better game. People will tell you that if you played, say, Resident Evil 7 and you played Resident Evil Village and now Resident Evil 4 in the VR, it takes on a whole new life of its own. It really adds the atmosphere that you just can only get through VR, and that's fantastic. But you know what's kind of sad is it'd be nice if Capcom would build a Resident, especially even if they made a co-op Resident Evil in VR.
Nice.
Wouldn't that be absolutely amazing? A
Oh.
game built from the ground up that isn't just adding something to an already existing game, but really building it with all of the level design with VR in mind. Could you imagine that? Like it'd be like Resident Evil mixed with House of the Dead. But
man.
just unbelievable. Like there's so
That'd
many
be so cool.
things I've said before with VR that haven't really been explored yet. Could you imagine, like we're already talking too, but we're talking about like how like the death of E3 and stuff like that. Well, how many millions of us around the world would love to go to an E3 event and be able to sit there on the showroom floor, but we can't afford the flights, the meals, the hotels? Why can't you just do it through VR and have all these people sit in like live at all these events?
Right, they
there's
do
a
that with
Super Bowl,
sports too. Yeah.
but sports and Super Bowl, where guys who can't afford tickets, I mean, they're missing the boat because it's not just a gaming device. I mean, could you imagine paying like, say it was just like $10 a month or $10 for an event, and you could literally like basically sit on the sidelines of the Super Bowl.
Just have a
And see it
virtual
from a
spot.
perspective,
Yeah.
and see it from a or racing. Be in the cockpit with your favorite driver instead of watching it from the side. You actually see the speed of how fast they go and the shit they go through. And could you imagine that crap? Well,
can't.
Yeah, it's
absolutely
next
nuts.
level. Yeah.
There
and we're
would be
getting
there is money
you know?
on the table. That would print money, and that would, even if people didn't get into the game side of VR,
Yep.
they would get into it just for that experience alone, to see things
Oh, yeah.
that they've never done and could never do in real life.
Absolutely. Yeah, and it's like they can do it because we're getting there with the tech now, especially because if you look at compared to like where the Quest were, or where like the PSVR 1 is compared to where VR is now. I mean, it's like it's so advanced now, even further. And you're right. It's like that. Those doors need to be kicked down by somebody because that's such a missed opportunity. Especially like you said, it would get people to buy the units and it would move units even if they're not into gaming, just because they want that front row ticket, so to speak, or to get there for an event. So yeah, I feel like that's a untapped territory that needs to be figured out by some of these people that run these events.
Well,
Yeah,
dude,
they have the
I'll have to tell you,
metaverse
man,
right now.
in
Right.
VR,
Not
the next
metaverse.
level, you can almost smell it.
I found this picture.
Oh man.
What the hell?
What? Where?
Oh my God! Yeah,
It's on the YouTube channel. It's in the YouTube video.
on the live feed.
Oh.
My God!
Somebody's upgrading their guns.
I love the dad jeans that Phil Spencer's wearing.
Oh man. Yo,
That's
those
like-
are some dad
that's
jeans.
the
Those some
best.
dad skinny
Should
jeans.
I use this for the ad? I'm gonna have a Jim Bover sale at the shop on Friday.
Oh man!
I'll put PlayStation games on sale.
Oh, that's awesome. Oh my god.
I should use this because I have a background watermark for Microsoft Word or whatever.
Oh yeah.
I should use that as the watermark. So you see the sale, but you see in the background.
You see Phil Spencer
Kind of
just
weird though
stomping
how
his
two of
head.
the oldest fossils from Xbox and PlayStation have all retired or left the company in the past year, and I'm talking about Larry Herb and now Jim Ryan.
You know what's funny? I kind of called that too because he did a podcast and it got less views than Boom's. Like Boom's did 20 times more than his. Like Larry Herb had 100 views and Boom had 12,000 views. I'm like, this is the official Xbox podcast. It's getting outdone by regular people. So I was like, I think they're in trouble. And then they got rid of them. I was like, wow. You didn't have to get rid of them, but maybe do a different thing with them. I don't know.
Well, it's just like sports entertainment, and you can think about wrestling and how it's had to reinvent itself to get more audiences. I don't think it's different for video games too. Like sometimes you got to get a change of pace. You know what I mean? It's even even like Reggie Fils-Aimé kind of started to wear it as welcome with Nintendo after a while. It's going, it's Reggie again. You know what I mean? Like sometimes you got to have somebody that's younger, more brash, can speak for the current audience, or maybe the attitude or where they're at in the gaming space. And I think I think Phil is a little closer to us, everybody that's on this podcast in terms of his age, and he certainly doesn't strike people when you look at Phil or you hear him talk. He doesn't issue this corporate suit.
Right.
Larry Herb to me was great, but Larry Herb was kind of like your old great uncle or your grandpa kind of talking video games to you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That
In the
game
suit
is
and tie,
great.
and
Well, he also said the Xbox One
White
couldn't be
gloves.
turned off with a switch, and look how that aged very poorly.
yeah.
Yeah.
He was the one
you
that
see
said
what I'm
it.
talking about, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
Sometimes, what PlayStation needs is they got to get somebody that's young, somebody that's brash, someone that's got that's playing these games wholeheartedly. Has got their feet on especially they have to pay a little more attention to their TikTok audience or pay attention to their YouTube audience because
They really do.
we're the hardcore. We're the people that buy the products. We're the people that push the new products. This is the thing. They got to stop chasing the Fortnite crowd. I've said this about Xbox. Stop chasing these people that spend money on microtransaction because that makes the bank. I get it, but they're not the audience that moves the industry. Do you guys
No.
understand what I'm saying?
Yep.
We're the ones who
Absolutely.
push the tech forward. I'm the guy who bought the $600 or almost $800 VR up here in Canada
Yep.
to push that technology forward, to help get it out there, to spread the word. We're the people that are moving the needle for these companies. Where they might look at it from a numbers perspective, but who is moving it for them here? It's the hardcore gamers. It's not. You don't see a lot of average everyday gamers on here, like people that play games for 10 minutes and they're on here spending 4 hours a week doing podcasts.
Right.
No, it's hardcore people that are in touch with the industry and know what's going on, and they need to bring these people in. Sit them down in the boardroom and ask them, what games are you playing? What games do you like to play? What games do you want to see come back? And maybe they do that. But if they're doing that, they're obviously not listening to somebody because there's so many things on the table and you go, why does that not exist? Why are these games not out there? Why haven't these IPs been restored when we're clearly going, guys, bring them back. We want them.
Right.
They got to stop looking at the almighty dollar because, yeah, they might bring back a game and sure, maybe it doesn't come out and do 10 million copies right at the gate,
Crackdown.
but they're going to please their hardcore fans. They're going to bring back the nostalgia. They're going to bring back the hype. And that's going to trickle forward into bigger, more investments and better sequels and almost like revive things. You know what I mean?
Like even the new
Said it perfectly.
So they revived the Xbox podcast actually a couple days ago without Larry Herb. They spent like a half an hour talking about him, and then they were talking about their credentials, and it's like, are you guys going to talk about games? I don't care who the hell you are. You're here, right?
Right.
Let's talk about
That's
games.
right.
What's coming out?
Yeah.
Oh well, I worked at this and I did that. Blah blah. I'm like, who gives a shit? Like,
Yeah, people are here to listen about. Yeah, they're here to listen about the games. They don't need a resume.
and
You know, to
that's
see.
kind of why they won't ever really hit with their own official Xbox podcast because they just don't get it.
Yeah, there's people that are moving the needle a little bit more just
Like-
with that. Yeah.
Let me just ask you guys this question, right? Like, how many of you guys here are Sea of Thieves fans?
I never played it, to be honest with you. But
Fred,
it looked
put your
fun.
hand down.
Okay, I wholeheartedly love Sea of Thieves. Now, I don't play it all the time.
Right.
I wouldn't say I'm a religious gamer to Sea of Thieves, but I love what they were trying to go for. I love how it evolved over time and certainly became a much better game, a year after the fact than it was when it launched, right?
That's what I heard.
But-
Yeah.
But the key is, how many of us here grew up on Rare? How many of us still remember their Nintendo days? How many of us still remember how strong they came out of the gate with the 360? And how many of us, and I've been saying this on all my podcasts, let Rare be Rare again and let them go. Like, stop tying them into Sea of Thieves content over and over. I want to see these guys stretch their feet, but I also want to see them, look, even if you got to hire another studio to do it
Right.
with the sort of help or the expertise or the vision of Rare, but bring back the beloved franchises we've been asking for, the Banjo-Kazooies, the Conkers, the stuff that made them unique, the stuff that set them on a pedestal. There's IPs sitting in the wings that we're all crying for, or at least a lot of people in my circle are, and we're not getting them. It's
Yep.
like, why?
Exactly.
Why aren't we getting them? We want them. We will spend money on them, right? How hard is that?
I said for years, take a team of like 8 people, and in the meantime, make like a small little Banjo-Kazooie kart racer with all the characters, or make a Smash clone or something. You don't need a bunch of people to do that. You know what I mean? And put that on like Game Pass or something, just to get us by until the big games come out. You know what I mean? Do anything, and they just sit on their hands, and it annoys people like me because I really want to play like.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, they say, oh, this game's 2030, this game's 2035. It's like, I'm 40. I'm going to be 65 years old by the time games come out for this stupid thing. You know what I mean? Like, I can't wait another 10 years for games. Let's, open up your ass a little bit. I get a team of freaking 8 people and just do this, man. It's not that hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even
We'll
like
spend the
Sega
money.
gave the blessings of that guy or whatever that went out and made Sonic Mania. Remember?
Yeah,
Brings back
Oh, yeah,
Whitehead.
makes
yeah.
a whole new game that was almost
Christian
the same
Whitehead, I
Sega
think
put
his
out.
name was.
Christian Whitehead, exactly. He goes out and makes this phenomenal little game with this blessing of Sega, like kind of spearheaded sort of a resurgence in Sonic, hence the Sonic Mania, like that sort of thing. Like this is what I'm talking about, right? And like bring it back. You got Game Pass now. The one thing you got to have to keep Game Pass successful is content. Which means you need to bring out anything and everything and throw darts at the wall because you can't rely on AAA blockbusters that take fucking 5 years to make.
Exactly.
Shit's going to die. This isn't Netflix where a movie can be produced and made within a matter of 6 months. I mean, this is a fucking game industry. You guys have got to have content, and we're not all going to sit around and pay 16, 17, $20 a month either for like indie after indie after indie. We want stuff that's going to wow us. Sure, we'll play those games too. Those are fantastic. Hell, the best ideas in the last 5 or 6 years have pretty much come from the indie game segment. My God, they're killing it over there.
Yep.
But we still need the big stuff. And I know that's kind of why Xbox has so many studios now, because they know that they have to have an overlap. They have to have studios ready to drop a bomb when the other guys are still cooking. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So they just got to get their schedules kind of coordinated. And again, they have to, minus barring any delays, have enough content to come in the pipe that they can spread it out, keep people engaged and interested. Kind of like this year, right? We've had a little bit of stuff within every couple of months.
Yep.
Right.
These guys got to get content. And they got to let guys like Rare Like you know, if the guys at Rare don't have interest in making Banjo-Kazooie or Conker or whatever, they got to get another studio that is. They got enough of them now that they should find someone that's got love and passion for those games and say, we're going to bring them back.
Yep.
But what, you're going to afraid because they won't be super successful? Well, so are a lot of other games that you bring out that are not super. But I can guarantee you this: a game with nostalgia and a game with more rapport, like a Banjo-Kazooie, is going to do a hell of a lot better out of the gate than some weird ass game nobody ever heard of with some unknown character. Like, let's take Recore for example, right? Like Recore, half of its problem was it was a half fleshed out game that didn't get a whole lot of marketing, didn't get a whole lot of promo. Recore would have done better now if it launched as a new IP on Game Pass today than it did a couple of years ago, because it just got you know what I mean?
Yeah. I think even and I know it's not Rare who put this out, but even like a game like Hi-Fi Rush, which it was a great surprise to just be like, boom, here's something like that, and it's like if Rare dropped something like that on us, like just randomly, like Shadow dropped, like that's the kind of stuff that would be cool, if we got more happy surprises like that, where it's like it was actually something that was a nice, refreshing thing to see. We need those things that are kind of refreshing like that, and yeah, you couldn't have said it any better with that. I just feel like there's a lot of missed potential, especially with their history and their catalog. You're just like, man, what are they? Where is this?
Crash
where's this going?
Bandicoot can come back and resurge with his games, and he wasn't even the top of the notch mascot back in the day. I'm sorry, the Rare stuff needs to come back.
Oh, definitely.
Plus, if they bring back Banjo-Kazooie right then and there, you got people from Nintendo that are going to come over to Xbox and play all that.
Oh, yeah.
Because they're going to be like, hey, I can only play that on Game Pass or Xbox.
But I guess part of their problem is they go, well, like those games are so old and nobody in this day and age is playing Fortnite knows who those characters are.
Yeah, Jim Ryan said that. Look where he is now.
Didn't Banjo and Kazooie show up in a Smash Brothers game?
Yeah, where's the game to tie into that? You know what I mean?
Right? So, can't tell me that, and we all know how nostalgia moves the needle. I mean, heck, half the games that are out there right now that are moving the needle today are still based off nostalgia.
Oh, yeah.
Right when he said needle, there was a needle on screen.
That's true. Yeah, so like there's room for more games, and they gotta listen to their audience, and they can't think about, well, this game is gonna have this target, and if it doesn't hit this, we don't make it. No, like they gotta stop with that, because they don't have to make them all massive budget, but they got enough talent that they can get something done and kind of please everybody and keep content coming. I mean, heck, if you're willing to pump money back into Psychonauts, which was a great game back on the Xbox, but it certainly didn't set the world on fire from a sales perspective. Hell, the franchise was almost dead.
Yeah.
And it was just through fan service and the love of the creators who really loved it and poured their heart out, like Tim Schafer and the crowd at Double Fine, and then, of course, the community backing it, and then getting the funding over from Microsoft to finish it.
Yep.
There you go. Look, we got one of the best effing platformers in the last decade. Came out, what was it, last year, the year before last, in Psychonauts 2. I love that game. I can't say nothing good enough about it. Doesn't get enough love and respect.
I actually won that game on RDX.
Right? Phenomenal game.
They put it
More
in the
people
chat.
should be playing that game.
Yeah, it's a really good game. It's awesome.
Oh, yeah. If they remastered Grab by the Ghoulies,
come on.
I would like. Oh man, listen, it was a stupid freaking game, but I loved it. I'm sorry, it was a stupid freaking game, but I was like, I played the crap out of that shit.
Do you want it to be like an M-rated horror game where you actually get killed in there?
Yeah, you get like stabbed by the skeleton.
I've been saying you can almost remaster anything from the 32-bit, 64-bit era, because a lot of those games had amazing stories and concepts, but they weren't fully realized because of the limitations of the technology at the time. Right?
Yeah, no, exactly.
You look how primitive the graphics and the play control was in a lot of those games, that you go back and if you went and looked at them today, you go, my God, these games are amazing. It just needs to be updated for today's modern consoles and today's modern audience, Hence what they're doing with the new Tomb Raider, or the Tomb Raider trilogy getting remastered. Ooh. But my only question with that is, I'm all for those 3 games, but I do hope they improve the controls, because if I got to play those original games with those ass 8-way tank controls, I'm out. I am not going to die over and over again, because I can't make Lara Croft jump one stupid pit, because she got to do her little back step, shake her booty,
and you keep
and
hitting the wall.
Yeah, the 3D control on the friggin' D-pad. Fred
Right,
actually
3D
wants to
control
be
on an 8-way D-pad. So
Fred actually wants
Yeah.
to be grabbed by the ghoulies, says Dreadpool. Well, Dreadpool, you could grab Fred by the ghoulies next week because he'll be in Tampa, Florida.
Yeah.
Well, I
It was
think,
on the Rare Replay.
ready.
Yeah, that's where Fred tried to stream that on Twitch once. I was the
Yeah,
only
I
person
did.
in the chat.
Oh yeah. Ferry was the only one that was cheering me on.
And then
I have the original one
and then
too.
you magically got banned from Twitch.
I guess I grabbed the ghoulies too hard.
I
I just grabbed those ghoulies too
He
damn
just
hard.
streamed
Grab
grabbed
by
by the
ghoulies.
ghoulies and he got banned.
It's like, why would I get banned for this? Like, of all things.
You should
I didn't
definitely
flash
have a
my
pair of
tits on there,
underwear
did I?
that say that on there. Grabbed by the ghoulies.
Definitely. I gotta get some like briefs that say "grabbed by the ghoulies" and just
Yeah.
be right on my ass.
The funniest thing was you had neighbors whose last name were ghoulies. Oh no!
Yeah, I mean, to that point though about the Tomb Raider stuff.
We need a
I think
cameo
that's
sequel. Yes.
Oh yeah, I was gonna
Ooh,
say
yeah, I
Cameo
love
was a great
Cameo.
game.
Cameo was
Um,
awesome.
Let's make Mike a moderator.
Yeah, like I think the Tomb Raider stuff is interesting because we're in an era where a lot of people want to see some of that stuff remastered.
Let's
A lot
make
of
Noof a
RE
moderator.
fans want to see Resident Evil, the original trilogy, also get the same treatment. We got Metal Gear Solid doing that collection treatment. So maybe if these things sell, and obviously they print money, so that it doesn't take much for them to have a team that can just put in the new graphics that they're working on, update the controls, and it just prints money. But yeah, it's like the nostalgia stuff is cool, but yeah, we have to see other things that kind of come out that still keep it fresh and bring back stuff that we haven't seen for a while. And hopefully the collection thing or the them doing this kind of remastered stuff, it opens the door for some more companies like Capcom that should really do it for Resident Evil.
Oh yeah.
And obviously they can do the same thing, update the graphics a little bit, update the controls.
I think
for,
Capcom nailed it with these RE remakes, man. As far as like the controls and refining everything
Oh yeah,
years
as far
later.
as the remakes, yeah. I mean,
Because
I
I
know
was
we're gonna
worried
talk
when they
about
were coming out.
plays.
And then when
Yeah.
they came out, I was so happy. I was like, these are great.
Yeah, they got it down, and
They did it right.
Yeah.
They left a lot of the stuff in there. They just visually made it pop, and they didn't completely erase the controls. They made it more fluid, but they still have a little bit of that. You can't just doesn't have free range emotion like some 3D shooters kind of thing, right? So
Yeah, I mean that's the thing too. I think a lot of people like the more grounded approach that RE kind of has, and like how it moves a certain way, it feels a certain way. And by the time they got to RE4 remake, they obviously got it down a lot more because of things like the parry system with dodging stuff and being able to melee and chain everything, like chain your melees. And dude, it was such a great step forward for them. And yeah, I think like a lot of the this era where we're getting stuff that's being remade that's from the former glory days, that selling it off of that nostalgia. When they do it well like this, it gives it gives room for an Alone in the Dark comeback. It gives room for a Silent Hill comeback. So those are the things that we need. The Steelbook.
Josh
giant
Arnett.
Steelbook.
With the
It's
loose
Josh Arnett.
discs, with the loose discs and the piece of paper inside the shrink wrap.
Yeah.
I don't even know how that
What the hell
happens.
that is?
There's a
Yeah,
piece of
Josh
paper
Arnett.
in the shrink wrap, and it's glued on the
It's so
inside.
weird.
So yeah, shout out to Amazon. I got more stuff.
Yeah.
I'll show you in a little bit. I gotta go get some other stuff inside.
nice.
Are they making? Are they remaking RE5?
Yes.
That's kind of that's definitely where they're going next.
Nice.
And I know we'll talk about Separate Ways here in a little bit because I gotta talk about that because that came out.
Somebody
after
said I
our
wanted
last
Code
show.
Veronica for my iPad. Was that RWK?
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
like
I hope they make Code Veronica. That was a great game.
They will.
I think the the door's wide open for that stuff. And you mentioned Noof about the whole co-op VR thing with Resident Evil. I think RE5 would be perfect to set that up with because
Chris
if
and
they're
Sheva.
gonna
Right?
if they're gonna implement that, man, do
Imagine
that
on
in
the
VR.
boat. You're on the boat
Oh,
aiming
yeah.
and shooting the guys on the
Oh
tower.
yeah, and then some
Yeah.
other person's driving. That'd be great.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
there's so much potential with that. So I think
I love
Yeah.
Resident Evil 5. A lot of people that was their sore spot, and I actually liked it because
Oh,
I
I
liked
love
it because
it.
they
I like
changed
it.
it up. And
Yeah.
they
As
went
long
to
as Chris has roided
Right.
out like he was in the original Resident Evil 5.
Yeah,
That's all I
his
need.
design will change for the 15th time in the franchise.
Are
Like,
his
don't
cheeks
worry.
gonna punch the boulder in the remake?
Yeah.
the
I hope again, Separate Ways now kind of being my favorite RE DLC to date. I would say I would hope to see Lost in Nightmares come back. I would like to see
Oh
Desperate
man,
Escape come
Lost in
back.
Nightmares remastered. That's gonna be
Yeah.
crazy.
So it's just like this was a great run for them, and they're selling it even more with the DLC now. And yeah, I'm excited. But that idea of that VR co-op thing, it's like, man, if they don't do that and they have this whole thing set up where it is co-op
Yeah.
again, that's just going to be a waste potential. So hopefully they stick with that idea of keeping it co-op. I mean, we don't know if it will be
sick.
co-op, but that would be awesome, like you mentioned. And yeah, I mean and then by then, yeah, it's like hopefully the PSVR 2 will drop in price, or they'll actually have it more compatible with PC. Like, we'll see what happens, but I hope so, because I really just hope overall that we get a decent next couple of years out of both of these machines, mid-gen
Yeah.
refresh or not. It's like I really just want
And
we just
Sony,
want
if you're
to play good
listening,
stuff. Yeah.
Mhm.
Sony, if you're listening and you don't want to drop the price right away, at least one of the bonuses you could do is pack in some of your highlight titles. Give people a couple of games, throw them a couple of bones, get people excited. Give them remember at least back in the day, you bought something, you at least got a damn demo disc with 12 games on it, at least to try them
Oh,
out. You don't get
Anthony
none of that now.
is
You got to.
the PlayStation
just-
1 demo disc king.
I
over
mean, I
there.
guess
I love
we
demo
still,
discs.
you have demos that are on the store, and you can go in and download them to your heart's content or whatever. I get it. So that kind of nullifies my point. But they have the power, they have the resources.
Yeah.
You got to pack in a couple of games. Here's Resident Evil, whatever, and here's that Horizon Call of the Mountain, and 3 or 4 games. Pack them in, let people get a different experience and get a taste for it.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing. A lot of people who are new to VR too don't really want to be dropping 40, 50, 60 bucks on games and they're not 100% convinced they're going to like them. And that's the thing.
Right.
I'm watching the store all the time and they're not dropping them much at all. It's they're still full price. It's I'm not paying 40 or 50 bucks for a game I basically bought a year or two ago on the Quest. Come on, guys.
That's
Get with the program.
it's ridiculous, and that's the thing too. It's like, I think that's just trying to get it out to as many people as possible. Instead, it just seems like they're scaring people away with that price point, and also that they didn't really have a great foundation for their launch as solid to kind of back up that price point. And it's like, man, they could have bundled it with something, or have I wonder if they're gonna do something like that this holiday season, throw it in there. I mean, I know they had the Horizon bundle and stuff like that, but I wonder if they're gonna try to still sell it at full price, but just throw more bundles in there and be like, oh, by the way, here's RE4 with this, then you get the
There you
free
go.
update.
They
Just
should make a
things like
virtual
that.
Santa where you get to be Santa Claus and fly around in a sleigh.
That
Oh,
should already
man.
be a thing.
You
I was
know-
gonna say that has to be
you
a
gotta
thing
say
already.
now. Santa's gonna bring the king the Christmas sweater.
I was gonna say the king will get what he wants.
I got
I got
Joy
a good
King.
Christmas joke for you guys after the show.
Perfect. Well, I guess we can kind of move on to this other topic here, because it kind of has to do with, I mean, it still has to do with kind of Jim Ryan, because he was involved in this whole thing. But I guess we can talk about the Microsoft and Activision deal finally closing, because it finally closed, guys. We've been talking about this for weeks.
Preliminarily, can I speak tonight? I don't know.
Preliminarily.
Preliminary. What Noof said? It closed.
Yes, what
that
he
way.
said.
It's not closed, but it's pretty much closed.
It's pretty much close. Yeah, I mean,
It'll be
obviously,
closed within a month, less than a month.
Yeah, I mean, I say weeks, but it's really been months that we've been covering it, every update, especially when
More
Frank
like
was
years.
still here. Yeah, it felt like it was every time he would bring it up, we'd be like, all right, this is another, development in this story. But yeah, it seems like it's coming to a close. And yeah, I mean,
it's kind of why Jim Ryan lost his job.
that's what I was going to bring up to you guys. Do you think that this also just didn't help matters within that? Because I feel like it's
I think
you're
Sony in Japan told Jim, here are your orders, stop that deal. And I think he did the best he could to stop that deal, and he just couldn't stop it. And
Yeah,
I think that was
but
it.
when it came out, when Lula Missouri brought the point out, then in one of his was the emails or something where he said, "I don't care about Call of Duty. I just want this deal stopped." Like
Yeah.
that painted them in a bad light.
Right.
That made them look like the big bully on the block that didn't give a shit. They just wanted to see Microsoft fail.
Yep.
And I think that kind of backfired. Some of the stuff that came out, and then of course some of the underhanded stuff that they've been doing for a long time that got exposed in the documents, like how in Japan they were basically trying to destroy any type of competitive edge Microsoft was trying to earn
Yep.
by money hatting all the devs, keeping the stuff off.
Right.
You know, and proof was in the Final Fantasy thing that was supposed to come out on Xbox, and then all of a sudden it disappeared. I mean, come on, don't tell me Sony didn't have something to do with that.
No, they totally did.
You know, so
Right.
all of this stuff worked against them because it just made them look like hypocrites because they're complaining about all this stuff that Microsoft has taken apparently, but they were doing the exact same thing, and I think a lot of that it really just backfired them and wholeheartedly, and that did not paint Jim Ryan in a very good light for sure.
He should have kept his
No.
mouth shut.
And like, yeah, and we're sitting here, crying about, like they're sitting there crying about Call of Duty and stuff, and like crying about all these things where it's like, okay, I thought you guys cared about, all these exclusives, all these things. And yeah, it just seems like there was just something just not right and very shady about that. And yeah, it was like it definitely kind of what did this whole, Jim Ryan stuff. That's kind of what did it in. But yeah, it was a very crazy kind of time to be, talking about these things each week, because we'd always just be like, man, like, what else is going to come out from these documents? What are we going to find out about? Yeah, like you said, like within the emails and stuff like that. It's like you find out all these things, and just how, like, they're both kind of maneuvering these corporate seas, so to speak. And it's just very interesting that we get to kind of sit and watch by the sidelines, and then it's like all this stuff comes out, and we're just like, why the hell did they do that? Or why did they waste so much time on this? And taxpayer money and all this stuff. It's just like, what is happening? It was a very, I mean, to see it finally, at least get to that finish line, so to speak. Yeah, I mean, it's we can finally move on from it. But yeah, it definitely was a very
that was the only news I broke to you.
And then Nintendo accepting the Call of Duty offer that they put on the table, while Sony sits there and goes, nope,
Yeah.
nope, like that didn't look good either. It's like, if Nintendo can freaking accept it, what the hell is your problem?
Yep.
Yeah.
Right?
That did come out around the same. Yeah, all that stuff was like, yeah, we're gonna play nice with them and blah blah blah. And we're just like, okay, well, yeah, now who looks like an idiot? You know what I mean? Like, what's going on here? And yeah, I think especially with them, yeah, the first Call of Duty they've had in over, way over 10 years by the time the Call of Duty probably hits on their next Nintendo whatever. The last one was Ghost, so that was on the Wii U. So to see even Call of Duty come back on Nintendo, like, yeah, even something as wild as that you thought you would never see because of the state of like how the Switch runs stuff and everything, we need that update for them for sure. And once that happens, I think Nintendo will just continue to kind of hit the mark with what they're doing over there. But yeah, I just think it's just when they're willing to play ball with someone like Nintendo, and obviously Nintendo does not like Sony at all. Yeah, it's all competition. They're gonna do whatever they can to just get that leg up on Sony any way, shape, or form.
It'll be cool to like cross-platform and play like with people on the Switch. It's gonna be so weird.
It's gonna be wild, yeah. That's gonna be a thing, and yeah.
Playing people on the Switch is like beating up your little brother.
Just all I will warn you is that while we're like probably halfway through our match, the Switch people are still waiting for the loading menu.
Yep.
The matches are half over, and the Switch guys are just joining. What?
You're like, wait, what happened?
Like,
I thought,
like, why are we losing 3-0? What the heck?
Yeah, like you were in queue the whole time.
All 10 of them.
Yeah.
And their voice chat's like all laggy. It's like,
yeah. By the time they enter the friend
code.
Ed
Boon has said he's going to rectify the Mortal Kombat 1 terrible port.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you know what he should do? Buy everyone a PS5 or an Xbox. That's a little remedy the problem.
Never have it on Switch.
On there. I don't know how the hell
that man.
That was bad. I don't know who they got to do that version, but boy, that was nasty.
I did hear all about that and they were using different footage when they're advertising it and stuff like that.
Yeah, they pulled it down. They used the PC version. They
They
actually
always
put in the
do.
Steam achievement. They put Mario's face when it popped up.
If you look at half of the box, like if you pick up a Switch game and you look at the back box art and the pictures on the games, it's like, well, that's not from the Switch version.
What happened
Yeah.
to the Nintendo seal of quality?
They totally use like pictures in the Xbox and PlayStation and whack them on the Nintendo box, and then you get the game and you're like, God, this thing looks really muddy.
Yep.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Yeah, I mean, I was surprised when they even did the last one, on Switch. So, it was, it just seems like, even when they're adding stuff like MLB on there and obviously Call of Duty in the future, it's like they need something that can, run these games a lot better than how they're running, especially with like, the latest Zelda. It's like that thing should have been launched on a new Switch from the start, but I know like they're gonna do what they got to do to make money because they know people will rebuy it again or buy the updated console. But yeah, I mean, it's crazy because we always think about like back when we started this show over 10 years ago and where Nintendo was at with the Wii U. We kind of talk about it all the time where it was like the dark ages of Nintendo, and Frank was the one Nintendo fan on this show that like we were always kind of making fun of him during that time. We're just kind of busting his balls like, oh, Nintendo's in the news again and it's not good news. Just during that time it was very dicey. So to see them come back, but then also to like there's going to be a lot more potential if they just hurry up and put this thing out. We know it's probably going to be dropping in the spring. So once that happens, I think that will be a breath of fresh air, and those, hopefully those games will just run a tad bit better,
Speaking of Frank, we will hear from him later. I have some videos he sent me.
Oh, cool.
Nice.
Yeah. Let me see. Yeah, I have a lot of customers who are afraid that the Switch won't be backwards compatible, the new one.
I mean, I think Nintendo
I think
nice
it will
with their
be,
fans.
but I tell them, I think it will, and they look at me like, I hope so.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people have, and it's funny. So, speaking of like, even like Best Buys, kind of being, more Nintendo. They stock more Nintendo stuff than the PlayStation section and the Xbox section. But my buddy texted me today, and he's like, yeah, they're shrinking all of our planos for these game sections. Like they're shrinking them big time. So Best Buy's getting an even bigger purge. If you thought there wasn't games in there now, there's not going to be much games.
There's going to be more Hot Topic crap in there now.
By the time holidays go
underwear,
around,
used
man,
underwear like GameStop.
they're trying to get they're just trying to get get a lot more room for other stuff.
Let me tell you what I bought from Best Buy. I bought an LG little kitchen TV. And I usually don't buy LG kitchen TVs.
Oh, the 24 or the 28 inch?
I bought the 27. So listen.
27, okay.
I have a TV, an Insignia with the Fire Stick in it. Every time I turn that thing on when I cook, it's updating. I'm done with Fire TVs. Fire TVs can kiss my ass. Okay? I am finished with Fire TV. If I see a Fire TV, I will kick it. Okay? No more Fire TVs. I'll pay the extra $30 to get away from them.
For Black Friday, they'll be stacked to the ceiling.
That's okay.
Perry's just gonna go to Best Buy and just kick all the Fire TVs. It's like
like dominoes, they'll just fall. Like the pallet will just fall.
I'm done with Fire TV. The one at the shop keeps turning off. I went into this morning, it was on. I come out, the thing was off. I'm like, I'm not getting
the Insignias, unfortunately, are all have that shit in there now. All of them teamed up with that. It's either you get that or you get a Roku TV. You get a TCL with Roku or you get a Fire.
I get LG and use WebOS, and I'm good.
Yeah, no, their interface is fine, man. I used to sell that model.
I manually had to look for the update.
Yeah.
So I don't have to update it if I don't want to. The Fire Apple, Amazon, they don't just give you the latest update. You have to get every update previous.
Yes.
So it'll update. It'll take like an hour. Then when it restarts, it'll be like, oh, there's another update. It'll take an hour. Then
it's like by the time
I'm cooking food, man, I don't have time.
For this. By the time you're done what you wanted to do, you couldn't even watch anything. You could
be in bed by the time the TV updates.
Yeah, it's like I could have just turned on a podcast on my phone or whatever to kill the time.
So I got that sucker this morning, and that's it. It's in the kitchen now, and
that's cool.
I'm gonna get a pair
What
of
was that?
headphones because it has
Uh,
Bluetooth built into the TV, and I'm gonna do that when I
What
cook.
was that,
I'll
like
listen to something.
170, 180, if I'm remembering correctly?
179.
There you go. I do remember that model. Yeah, they probably kept it around. I mean, they should. I remember we used to get people that asked for the. We used to have an Insignia 24-inch that had the DVD player still built in. This is like 5-6 years
Oh,
ago.
My mom uses that as
I
a
remember
monitor right
those.
now. That TV,
Yeah.
that Insignia with the DVD player.
Yep.
Yeah, I used to have that as like my monitor, like like for my computer and stuff.
Oh,
I
yeah.
love that thing. That was amazing.
I mean, it just recently died, but I had a 32-inch, Insignia from 2012, and it like finally
Ooh.
went. You know what I mean? But it wasn't a smart TV. It was back before,
Yeah.
it was back when the 32-inch TVs were $450. Like pretty expensive. But yeah, so yeah, I know we're just kind of rambling about Best Buy, but yeah, very very random that the games are kind of being cut down a little bit as well, which we already knew.
Target.
Perry, you
Target's
mentioned
getting
it.
rid of
Target,
movies.
Yep, Target's downsizing on the movies and the CDs. Well, they're already getting rid of them in some locations. They're kind of downsizing them in other locations. You have artists like Taylor Swift still doing Target exclusives, but what they'll probably start doing is they'll probably just have them for release instead of having them all the time. Because what I always see is they always just end up with like a stack of just like 1,000 copies that they sold, but not enough because they just, they make 1 million pressings. But it's just like, yeah, you're starting to kind of see that. Walmart's already the case. They're already like,
Oh,
yeah,
man.
get this out of here. You go to
Yep.
Walmart, it's like you get the DVD bin with all the DVDs in there,
Yeah.
and then you get like, your horror end cap, but that's it. It's like a little dinky section.
Oh yeah, no,
so-
and the game section too is only like there used to be like 3 aisles of just like video games, like back
Yeah.
in like Walmart, and now there's like just one little sliver of just like
Yep.
it's
Yeah.
right there.
RWK was
I told my local GameStop the other day. I said, "Man, you need to talk to corporate." And I said, "You need to tell them that you got to change your name to Toy Stop." Man, this is brutal.
Toy
Yeah.
stuff.
It's
Not
like,
even-
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Oof, I don't know
When
if
you're-
I don't know if they do this in Canada, but over here, they have like there was like this is a couple of years ago. They had a Blue Yeti microphone on sale for like $80, and I
Right.
said, and they had it on display or whatever. I was like, and it said new, and I said, hey, I'll get that. So the
Mhm.
guy takes it into the back, and I'm like, is he
Right.
taking it to look for the one that's new? No, he comes out with it, puts it in the box right in front of my face, and goes, "Okay, this is new." I was like, "That's
yeah,
not
they
new."
do that up here.
Yeah,
They do that with a lot of the games. You'll go to buy the game, you bring the case over, and then he starts rifling through, and he pulls like the game out of like a little cardboard sleeve, and then
Yeah.
puts it in a box, and you're like, "Well, where's my sealed copy? Oh, this is our last one." Like, what? Like
It's like,
they
this
do
is
it
my
all the
rental
back in the
time.
day,
copy.
that used to be called a display model, and they would knock a couple of bucks off, like in retailers that sold like TVs and VCRs. Like for Christmas, I would get like a display model VCR or something because it was cheap enough, and my parents were able to get it for me. But
Yeah.
like that's what stores would always do. They would mark it down just a little bit. GameStop, forever,
No.
they don't do any of that. They sold me a new copy of Mortal Kombat Deception on GameCube for a full price. It was obviously unwrapped, and I got home and I looked. It looked like someone took a box cutter and slit the freaking disc. Now the game worked.
Wow.
I still have
Yeah.
it, but that's ridiculous. I paid full price
Yeah,
for
how are
it.
you gonna sell it like that?
RWK
Yeah,
with
what
a
the hell?
$1.99 super chat. Perry, new Fred.
Here's one that'll top you. I went and
Thanks,
bought this is during the 360 era, so I went to buy my nephew an Xbox so he could play games with me. So we get down to the store, go buy him the Xbox. I don't know if it was the Pro or the arcade, but the original Xbox, right? The 360. So we get home, and I'm literally talking like we take it out of the box, we set it up, and hook it up to the TV, and the moment we actually turned it on, it was red ringed. I'm like,
Wow.
what?
That's
Wow.
fucked.
How is that possible? How is a brand new console? So, upon further inspection, I look at the serial number on the Xbox and the serial number that was on the package box, totally different.
Wow.
Brought it back to the
Oh,
store. I
dude.
looked at the guy and said, I don't know what you're trying to pull here, buddy, but I said, this Xbox is not the one that you sold us. This is the box. This is the serial number. This is a totally
It
different
does
unit.
not match up.
And he
Right.
just looked at me real quick and he's like, yeah, I'll get you another one from the back. So I don't know what happened there, but he looked pretty guilty about it. I don't know if they were hoping someone stupid would buy it and not realize it and then maybe
Yeah.
claim that the system was broke already or what. But either which way, they switched it out for me immediately. Problem solved. But like, I don't know what happened there, but I thought that was pretty crazy.
RWK with
Yeah.
a $9 super chat. Perry, new Fred, Ant, looking good across the board. Thank you. I'm sorry I
Thank
missed
you.
that one. I'm
Yeah.
trying to keep up with it. I know we haven't really been with the chat tonight, but we're seeing everything. We're just in
Yeah,
conversation over here. We see you guys.
Yeah. It's also great, like when you like go to GameStop. Like if you go to GameStop and they have like the game like out there like on display, and then you take it back to them like, oh, we don't have that actually. Sorry. It's like, why the hell do you have it out here then? Take it
Yeah.
off the
It's like,
fucking
I've
shelf.
walked
Like,
out of
what the hell?
GameStop with more games than I've brought back in the last 5 years because I walk in, I put them down. The trade-in prices were so ridiculously bad. I'm like, you know what? I'll use this as a beer coaster before I give it to you for friggin' 25 cents.
yeah.
I'm sorry.
Exactly.
And I'm
You
not
can put
talking
2
about the
beers
sports
on it.
games. I get those sports games; they depreciate really
Nice, nice,
quickly. I don't know why
okay.
anybody even bothers. But yeah, when they some of the prices and the fact that I'm walking around their store and I'll look at the same game and it's in the bin and they're charging at least $15, but they're giving me 25 cents.
Yeah. It's like right
I'm
in your
like,
face. You're like,
something
wow.
doesn't add up there, boys. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Like, you know, there got to be a maximum. I'm sure the case costs more than 25 cents. You know.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing too. I feel like they're kind of, in this weird spot. And then, with the CEO said recently about the whole like, the whole consoles like having to have the disk drive. It's like of course he's gonna say that. Like he was like, oh, like, they need to have, there needs to be always a disk drive with these consoles, blah blah blah. Like he was saying that stuff. And it's like, yeah, of course you're gonna say that.
Yeah.
Because they were talking that whole. I think he.
what's
he
funny?
replied to a tweet when Apple did the whole USB-C switch over, and that's when we talked about that a few weeks ago.
Shout out to the original Next Level Gaming in the chat room. That's Mike Mullis. Go to his channel. He's going to debut on Rumble on October 4th. So follow him over there.
Nice.
I'm going to have to make an account there at some point. I was hoping to go to the Royal Rumble and be number 30, but that's not going to happen.
Damn it! Not another account.
Another one.
I don't know. Everybody keeps opening up new podcasts and different apps and different different things, or like using like different chat systems and stuff. And it's
3
like,
months.
this is getting crazy.
Well, I think he's going.
And I'm going to tell you guys, no offense, but I hate Discord. I hate it with a passion. Yeah, just never could get used to Discord and still hate it to this day. I'm on here. I would appreciate the invite, but man, it's just, if there was any other way of doing this, I'd go with any other setup.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we used
Anthony.
to Skype. Look, we used to Skype, but then when that kind of went away, we used to do Skype, and then we did Google Hangouts for like a minute.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
we were in
then-
it for years. and then
Yeah,
screwed
so
up.
like it's crazy because we used to not live stream the show. We used to record it at like 11 or 12 o'clock. This is before Perry had the shop, so we had a little bit more of a different schedule. But yeah, it's just funny how we've had to and that's the thing too with Discord. It's like the one place that you can actually at least chat with everybody if you have like a community of people. So I think it's cool for like to open something for the channel, but even I try to like, I use it, but I'm still like, I try to use it as minimal as possible because it's easy to kind of get sucked into the void of like, all right, I'm on this forum or I'm on this thread and I'm talking to like all these people. It's cool, but like, I wish there was another option for like video calls like this. Like I know there's StreamYards and stuff, and I know, I've used that before a little bit too. So that's a pretty cool setup. But I like the fact that when you use Streamlabs, you can kind of, I wish there was just a different way to funnel in the video for the stream that wasn't through Discord. Because now, I mean, I know there's still Skype around, but like we're not using Skype like we're a bunch of
We can use
momos.
Zoom. We
Yeah.
can use Zoom, like the code.
Yeah. Just zoom it in. But yeah, it's just kind of funny that how we've changed how we've done the show just because of the different things that have come and
Gilded.
gone. And that was like right before the live streaming stuff kind of picked up, on YouTube. It wasn't even around when we started the show.
Anthony, it says Gilded.
What's that?
Gilded is the alternative to Discord.
Okay. I've never used it.
To check
That's
it out.
interesting. I've never seen that before either.
Fred, you're gonna have to get StreamYard so we can have new fun again.
Yeah, the problem with StreamYard
It's
is
all on
just
you,
the
Fred.
subscription.
It's all on me.
The
You got to.
$1,300 a year.
It's all good. A lot of people are still using Discord.
Alright.
It's just one of those.
We'll do
services- I don't
Zoom.
know,
We'll do
it
Zoom next
blows.
time.
I just completely see. There's another one. There's Zoom. How many are there?
It's a million.
That's a
Pretty
company
soon we're
that
gonna
just
have
got big.
Pretty soon we're gonna be
Out of
starting
nowhere.
up our own stream hub for all. We're gonna subscribe $10 a month and have them all.
Yeah, exactly, right? Yeah, we need a subscription service for all of our content creating needs. You know, it's
One
gonna have
password to
everything.
rule them all. So you don't need
Yeah.
40 passwords.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and-
no, right?
yeah.
No, it does get overwhelming with a lot of stuff like you have to remember and things you have to log
Well,
into.
everybody's set up differently. Icons are in different places. It's like,
Right.
it's like going from like an Apple to a friggin' PC and vice versa.
It's
and-
not all streamlined,
No.
right? It's like it's different. You know, trying to
Uh,
navigate. to see-
Boomstick was the guy that got me on to StreamYard, and I was actually impressed with one, how well it worked. It rarely ever crashed on me, and how simple it was to use.
Oh, it's great.
Obviously, if you want to subscribe to it, which I do find it's a little bit pricey, I
Right,
backed out
that's my
on
only
channel.
downside because I'm a cheap SOB. I'm like, I'll
But
just.
you're
do
the
it
only
as
one
a
making
subscription.
all the money.
pulling in My channel was pulling
Yeah.
in the bucks. I happily subscribe, but my channel's not pulling in the bucks. So, like, I got enough subscriptions without adding one, paying for something for what? Whatever.
Yeah,
And-
I mean that's the thing too. It's like even like if I were to use it, I feel like I'm still limited because I know there's options in StreamYards, but I like with Streamlabs, I'm able if I'm using something like Discord or like I don't know, I just feel like I can customize and move stuff around a little bit more to my liking. Where StreamYards is a great like plug and play, like boom, if you need to like have a window of a video you're showing and your friends on the side, you can do that. It's like a click of a button where in Streamlabs I have to set that up as a scene. So I have to click it and make sure everything it's like it's a lot more intricate. So I know some people are just like, yeah, I'm good on that. But I like having some options, with that. But it's like you said, it's like we always try all this new stuff, like being on these websites for so long making content. It's like you always got to try different things out just to see what the hell's going on or how it works. And some things work better than others. And who knows, maybe Discord will be gone in the next 5 years. You know what I mean? Who knows? Who knows what will happen if something else comes and takes it out.
What
We've
is
seen
the
it before.
RWK saying?
Yeah, there's 5 million porn sites, but they're all poking the same holes.
Yeah.
What,
all doing the same thing.
What GameStop story was I gonna tell? I totally forgot.
Oh man, was it the
one?
one where the guy threw the case at you?
He threw the case at me because I told him I wanted Sega Tennis on PS3, and he told me it was only on Xbox, and I was like, "Why is it on the 3DS then?" And the
He
guy,
threw the case.
I said, your website says you have it in stock for PS3, right? And then I rolled my eye. He was typing in the computer, and I rolled my eyes, and he saw me, and then he just stops typing, and goes, "Yeah, we don't have it." So I went to FYE down the street, and I bought it there for like $18. They had it for like 10. But I called GameStop corporate. The the district manager was like, "I will call you back in 5 minutes." He literally called me back in 5 minutes, and he goes, "They found the game. They want to give it to you for free." And I was like, "Well, I already bought it at FYE.
Yeah.
I paid more money because they had it."
Yeah, I didn't
And he
do
was-
business at your store because that guy was a dick.
And he was
Yeah.
like, "Go to the store tomorrow. We'll give you a $20 gift card." I was like, "Okay."
Yeah,
Well,
I
there
mean,
you
and
go.
that guy was giving you a problem too. It's like for a while, like he was there for a while. He was always a dick.
Yeah,
And that was back in what 2010, 2009, 2010.
yeah,
right?
that was back in
So
the
it's
day.
like that was back when like there was still like I mean not that there were like
He
still
flung
even
the-
during that time there was still being dicks.
And
but, yeah.
after he told me they didn't have it, I was like, "Whatever, man." And as I turn
I always say
around,
it too when you walk in.
I
Ask
just
the guy, "Hey, you got this game on Xbox?" And he looks at you and goes, "We have it for PlayStation." I asked for Xbox. They're always trying to sell me the PlayStation version. And if I wanted the PlayStation, I'd ask you for the PlayStation version. I'm like, come on, dude.
Yeah, it's like come on.
So as I turn around and walk away, he flings the freaking case across the room for the
Like a little
jeez.
kid,
yeah.
Really? Wow.
And I was like, man.
through a temper tantrum. Yeah, like
And
Wow.
then what was it? A couple of years ago when Hyperkin put out the Duke, I went to the
Mhm,
GameStop over by Frank's house in Poughkeepsie.
oh yeah, yeah.
I go in there. This kid looks like a basement dweller that works there. Okay. Now I don't care what you look like. I just want to buy this shit. So it's like, hey, do you have the Hyperkin Duke? And this thing was like $79.99.
Oh yeah, good chunk of change.
And he goes, we don't have it, but that's the worst controller ever made, right? And I was like, come on, man, you're not fucking with me today.
It's like, dude, you're trying to make sales. Don't turn
they're terrible salespeople. They're
and
terrible.
I'm like, dude, when were you born? Money. I was like, I didn't say this to him, but in my head, I'm like, this guy had to have been born in like 2006,
right,
2008 or something, because this guy doesn't know shit.
And he shouldn't have been, like
but that's
the one
GameStop's
thing
problem. They don't want to sell you shit, and then you walk out and not buy anything, and they wonder why they're going out of business.
Yeah, exactly.
They wonder why it's a circle of life. Like,
they're pushing you out the door.
I'm getting fired. What am I doing wrong? I'm telling people not to buy stuff.
5 years ago, I'd walk in and walk out with something almost every time. Now I basically walk in, look at the shelves, turn around, and walk the hell out.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right. Yeah. Man. Yeah, that's a good point.
They try to be your friends and tell you, oh yeah, that game sucks. Don't buy it. Okay, I won't buy it. And you walk out not spending any money. Yeah, and then their manager is like, why aren't we making money? Circle of life. Oh, please. I deserve perks. I deserve a raise. No, you don't. You're not selling anything.
Yeah. I want to rent the games. I want to take them home, open them, and then put them back in the box.
Whenever somebody comes into the shop, and this is how I was at Best Buy when I worked there, because I worked in the gaming section. If somebody asks my opinion, I will give it. But then I'll say, hey, that's just the way that I play it. I don't know if you'll like it or not. I never give my opinion. If someone brings me a game, even if I think the game sucks, I'm not going to say, yeah, this game sucks, man. Don't buy it.
Let me interject real quick and turn you away from
if someone brings it to the counter and says, hey, what do you think about this game? I'll be like, I played it. I kind of didn't like it, whatever, but that's just me. Maybe you'll like it, or maybe you get a different game on the shelf, whatever. And they make their own decision. GameStop just tells you, oh, you don't want that game. You don't want this game. You don't want this game. No, what is this?
Why did I walk in here?
GameStop? Like, what?
Oh, I've seen them. I've seen them, and I hate to say it, but a lot of the GameStops that I've been, I don't know if it's notorious, but a lot of them are pro PlayStation.
Yep.
And I've literally caught them many a time spewing bullshit lies about Xbox that drove away sales of an Xbox because they were telling people bullshit. You're like, man, like at least if you're gonna tell people something, be educated, because you're just using bias and passing it off. And most of these customers that come into the store, especially the mom and the pop that's buying it for their kids, they don't know jack shit, and they just take your word for it.
That happened.
And I've had to re-educate some of the people in the store myself, and I can see you getting the dirty stink eye from their employees because it's like, oh, that guy knows a fucking lot more than I do. But that sort of thing, and I'm not, and I don't go either way, because I literally had this asked me the other day. I was actually last time I was in a GameStop, was a lady sitting there, and they were looking at buying a Series S or the Series X, and I could hear them having a conversation, telling they didn't really know what they're looking for. So then I explained it to them, because the GameStop staff were busy with other people. So I explained it to them. It was great, and then finally she goes. And I said, well, what do you have? And I said, well, I have everything. Like, I have PS5, and what do you prefer? And I said, well, honestly, I said, here's the way it was. And I broke it down for them, and I said, I have my Xbox, and I have an ecosystem, and I have a lot of games there. So I said, I do prefer Xbox. I said, I like the controller better. I said, but, you can't beat PlayStation. I said, for some of the exclusive games that they only have really in their ecosystem, I said, they make some amazing games. I said, they got certain things that you can't get out of, so like the VR, and, and that's how I did it, right? Yeah. It's kind of the pros and the cons, and you make up your own mind.
Right? Yeah, absolutely.
I'm not kind of like, well, don't buy that one. That one's absolutely terrible.
That happened.
Yeah, you lay it out. You lay out the facts, and you put that information out there. Just
I say, who are you buying this for? They go, well, more my kid. And I said, well, does your kid is he look after games for one thing, or is he pretty much like if you download it in digital? Well, yeah, more digital. I said, yeah, because if you get a disc-based system, you buy all the disc games. Well, what's one thing kids are notorious for? Scraping them up, breaking them, getting shit on them. I said, so, if it's a younger kid that you don't really fucking trust, get him a digital console. At least you're not fucked up and having to replace your games.
Frank used to throw his sister's CDs in the toilet and laugh. So
yeah, I mean, that's what kids do. They think it's funny.
Frank's told this story before. He pre-ordered the PS4 when they went up for pre-order, and then he went to GameStop to pre-order the Xbox One. The guy at GameStop says, that's a really stupid thing to do. And it's like, he's giving you money for a pre-order.
It's a console. Like, that's the thing. It's like, dude, like, they don't care. I mean, the same thing, even when they were trying to sell Xbox. They would give people wrong information. Like they gave my mom the wrong information. Like she was picking me up a Slim years ago for Christmas, and the guy was trying to say, well, if you get the 4 gigabyte, you can't upgrade. You can't upgrade the hard drive. And I knew already, and I called Perry. I'm like, this guy's trying to tell my mom, and she's there, trying to buy it, and she didn't want to have to call me, but because this guy had to throw a lie in there and saying I couldn't upgrade the hard drive later, which I threw in a 256 later anyway. But it's just like he was trying to tell her that, like, yeah, no, you can't upgrade that. You got to get. He was trying to upsell her on like the more expensive console, and she was trying to obviously get just like the 4 gigabyte model and maybe a couple other things. Not really trying to break the bank. This is the second Xbox 360 that we bought because the Red Ring happened with. That put the nail in the coffin. That's why I was doing it. I was like, all right, if I got to make this jump, let me just get the 4 gig, upgrade it later. Yeah, the guy at GameStop, she had to call me. I called Perry. I remember I got done school that day, and I was just like, Perry, what the fuck? This guy's trying to tell my mom, X, Y, and Z, and he's just like, he's full of shit. And then I told my mom, just get it, get the console, get out of there, and don't believe what they're trying to tell you. You know what I mean? Because I'll upgrade it later. Even if they are telling you by the time you leave the door, oh, you still can't upgrade that console. I'm like, just ignore them, and I'll upgrade it. So yeah, it's just like little things like that. It's like, even when they're selling stuff like an Xbox, they couldn't even get their information right because they're trying to either make the sale or they're just stupid, The
worst controller, says Back from the Dead, was a PlayStation DualShock. My hands cramp after 1 hour of play. Even if you like the games, nothing is worth that controller. Well, there you go. They tried to dissuade me from buying a PS5 and told me the Pro was coming out in a month. What? Yeah, no announcement. They're just going to ship them to GameStop.
They're going to read any article
they
do
the
look
Sega
up on
Saturn
Google
all over again.
and just believe it,
Right to GameStop.
Yeah,
They don't even have
N64
games. How are they going to get a
controller's
Pro?
pretty bad, too.
Yeah.
Hey, we
Yeah, I
got
was
the
gonna
Pro
say,
in
what the
stock, but we're
hell?
not having the games.
We don't have anything to sell
We
you.
didn't pre-order,
though.
so we can't sell you any games.
Yeah, that's the other thing, right? It's like,
Pre-order
pre-order it.
Oh man, I mean, I remember back in the day, a pre-order was a pre-order was to get the perks and the bonuses, and I get it. The
Or the
pre-orders were
special
largely so
edition,
that the companies could get a better idea of how many copies they had to produce, or rough idea like that. And I totally got that, but it turned into something different over the last few years. Now it's just like you can't even get hardly any game at these stores unless you pre-order. It's like, this is bullshit. Like when I walked in when Halo Infinite came out, and they literally had like just enough copies to basically cover the people that pre-ordered, I was like, you got to be kidding me, right? This is literally one of the biggest Xbox games on the planet. If this was friggin' Mario on the Switch, you guys would have copies enough and you could play friggin' Jenga in the back, right? But no, you guys are going to have one little cupboard with 5 or 6 games that somebody had to pre-order. This is fucking Halo. Yep. You guys should have these things on the clock. But again, this is where I go off and I have my issues with Game Pass. And I will continue to have it because that's part of the reason this problem exists, is because retailers do not want to stock shelves when they know that probably 8 out of 10 people are not even going to buy it anyway because most people are just going to play it on Game Pass. And again, this is where I said this is my one thing that I'm adamant about, and I'll stick to it. The Xbox should not be doing the day and date stuff. They should have at least a 6-month window before they put any of their big AAA on, so they can maximize sales potential. They can still deliver games to the stores, and people will buy them. And if you're patient, you'll just wait anyway. That's what I think. But I digress. I mean, I can go off on a whole new tangent. Anybody who knows me knows that I'm a real hardcore physical guy. I told us the game complainers when he was on the show, like I'm in the small minority of people that are really trying to keep the mom and pop shops going. I'll buy physical whenever I get a chance, just because of some of those facts alone. Because I'm tired of walking into my Walmarts and all these stores that I grew up on and I love, and I see the shelves now void of anything that resembles the last 10 years. Yeah. It's like, where is our gaming going? It's all in a digital library. Like, I want to walk in and see shit on the shelves. Yep. You know what I mean? Like, bottom line. And it's all going. And it's going quickly. Walmart, like I said, they're going to have no movie section now. There's not even a wall of movies. You got one little rack with movies on it. And I'm going, wow, when did this happen? You know what I mean?
Yeah, no,
and it's funny. It's funny because the old DVD won't go away. The shittiest movie format that still exists is fucking there in droves.
You know, it's funny.
Get a 4K? What the hell?
Yeah. I mean, I'm surrounded by physical media too, right behind me. It's just like I can't escape it. It's like it's always going to be around me, especially. But yeah, I try to focus on especially with gaming now, like just collector's editions or stuff that like,
mean-
I really like to collect, with the modern stuff. The old stuff I still like to physically get.
I get them cutting it back. I definitely get, yes, cutting it back because a larger portion of the audience are, but not almost annihilating it. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Sure.
having to resort to going to an Amazon to get anything bugs the shit out of me. I want to be able to go down the street and buy something the day it releases, waiting for that release date and picking it up. I don't want to have to sit there and wait for Amazon, and that means I don't get my game till
They're
at
gonna
least 2 or 3 days after launch.
delay your
if I'm
pre-order.
lucky.
Yeah.
Right? Delayed
Every
pre-order.
time.
See, you
Every
see what I'm
time.
saying? That's
Yeah.
not convenient for me either. Or I guess I can get a digital on the store and I could preload it the night before, which is the way a lot of people do. I
Sure.
get that too.
Yeah.
But like, we shouldn't. The thing is, can't we do both? And everybody that listens to my story, because everybody's really invested in this whole digital ecosystem, tells me, Noof, you're full of shit. You're just an old cranky fuck that needs to, like, die in the fossil age, go back to the dinosaur era because I'm one of the fossils. Well, sorry if I actually give a shit about the fact that people are employed over this stuff. That a guy like the Gaming Player has a store that physically sells this stuff for people like me. Why is it all of a sudden I became the fucking enemy? I'm not the one who started the digital trend down this road.
Yep.
It's fucking lazy pricks that don't want to walk 2 feet from the fucking couch to stick a game in the console. That's who started this fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
And then it was the DLC fucking crowd, the fucking Activisions of the world overcharging for fucking shit. Promises, oh yeah, digital games are going to be cheaper because we won't have the middleman. Bullshit. They're not cheaper.
Yeah.
I've found better deals when I go into my local stores.
But
But
that's
you see where
Online Pass, remember that?
I'm sorry, guys. I'll go out every time this gets me started. I go right down this path because it makes me. I boil.
I like
inside.
this
get really
though. I like
mad.
hearing this
Yeah.
perspective on
I
the show.
boil
definitely.
inside.
Yeah.
I boil because I get it. The larger portion of the population are dictating how I want to collect, consume, play. I love what Anthony's got behind him here. I admire that. That's respect. To me, that's respect. That's years of dedication right behind him. He can see.
Right.
And look, you might get the odd chick that walks in behind him and goes, "Oh, this is a waste of money. What are you doing with your life?" A lot of us game nerds are going to walk in and go, "Holy fucking shit, this is a treasure trove, man." And you can sit there for hours. Oh, you remember when we played that? And then you take out the booklets and shit? Even that. Remember the booklets? And the artwork and the posters and the shit we used to get? And you sit there for hours.
Oh,
Sometimes, come on, guys, tell me you didn't buy a game sometimes and actually sit there, look at a manual or look at the artwork and shit, even before you pop the game in. You were
When
just,
I was a kid,
you were
we
just
took the
beside
manual to
yourself and
school.
excited. Right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
And the books and everything, the magazines, and we did all this shit. And we talked about it, and now it's all gone. It's all these people that spent their hard doing the artwork for games and this, that, and something else is all gone now. It's all digital. There's no, and one of these days, like I said, the world hits the shithouse fan and all this digital crap goes the way to Dodo. You'll be wishing you had a physical collection you could pop in then, guarantee you.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's that's just a really good point, though. I mean, I like hearing, that perspective on it too, because I feel like there's a lot of I think people, especially with the recent announcements with them trying, especially with Xbox, doing this whole going towards even to the point where now you're not even downloading them, now you're just streaming stuff. It's like, yeah, it's kind of like we're getting to these these weird conversations where we kind of saw what they were trying to do with just trying to get people on their ecosystem, but man, it's like it's nuts to even think about that we're already getting to that point where and it's funny too, because even someone when we were talking about the CEO of GameStop when he made that statement, it's like if only his store justified his statement, where it's like, yeah, I understand you want consoles to have disk drives, but I wish your store actually cater to that, and they don't even cater to that audience. Like you mentioned, you want to be able to go in there and look at walls of games or actually get deals. Like back in the day, you would go to EB Games upstairs and then GameStop downstairs because maybe there was better deals in the other store. Like you would actually look.
I got better deals at EB Games.
EB Games had awesome deals all the time. Oh yeah, yeah, definitely. Yeah,
and then
just
GameStop bought them and destroyed them.
Right. Yeah, that's the thing. It's even I had, we had a movie stop.
I remember EB Games when it was called Electronics Boutique.
Yep, I know Electronics Boutique. Yep, Electronics Boutique. Yep, I remember.
GameStop used to be software, etc.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We-
another 20 years, guys, we're all going to be visiting these big mausoleums. Are going to be like video game museums. Just
Yes.
oh,
Maybe,
you see that?
Upright glass cases. Do you
Maybe John
remember
Hancock will
when?
have his freaking museum by then.
Yes.
Yeah. Like you see that? That's a
When I walk
360
into a
game,
retro
Timmy.
store now, though, and I see the real gems, like stuff like this consoles that a lot of people have, like Neo Geos or like 3DOs, Panasonic 3DOs, or Atari Jaguar, stuff like that. Like I never had most of those consoles, but I walk in and go, man, you know, like that's history. There's my childhood. You know, that's shit that I always wanted and never had a chance to get. You know, if I had the money back when I was a kid, if I obviously wasn't a kid and had my own money, I would have probably had every damn system you could think of.
Oh yeah, me too.
I didn't discriminate. I just wanted to play games, man, and if it looked cool, I wanted it.
Oh
Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah, I
definitely.
agree. Yeah,
Uh,
I'm right there with you, Noob.
I don't even remember like even growing up because I grew up during the
Never
Super
Virtual
Nintendo, Sega Genesis era. There was no real like fanboyism over it. It was like sometimes people would make fun of Nintendo people, but
Yeah,
it was mostly like, "Oh, you got Sonic? I got to come over and check that out. Oh, you got Mario? I got to check that out because I got a Sega Genesis."
it wasn't like let me put up these barriers
It
and
wasn't.
never play.
It wasn't like, "Oh, you got Nintendo? What's wrong with you? They don't have enough sales." Blah blah blah. It wasn't like that. At least from my perspective.
Sure.
So, but
Yeah,
I think it started picking up during the whole PlayStation 4 shit. When everyone switched over from 360.
yeah.
Yeah,
the
when it was like
PS4,
peak
everyone-
social media, when all these social media platforms were out
like
there,
killed all that
yeah,
because
it,
you
like,
have all
it
these,
like made it boil over. you
yeah,
know?
these idiots online putting out stupid information. I still get customers that ask me about the Kinect. Don't I need to connect for the Xbox? I'm like, no.
right.
They killed
Yeah,
that
no.
thing years ago. Like that's not even a thing anymore.
Yeah.
Oh well, I
Yeah,
read
no,
this
it's
online. I
confusion.
read that online. It's like stop reading shit online and play the game.
Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just like when I like play like new games sometime, like I'll even try and like, you know, look at like a walkthrough and I just like buy it and just fucking do it.
Yeah.
If it,
I mean,
if it
that's
sucks,
the
then
one
guess
thing,
what?
too.
I fucked up.
Yeah, it's like just playing it.
NBC, my big cock. What's he doing right
time.
now? I don't know. What's RWK talking about?
I don't know.
It's
Anthony-
MG, it's
It's fine.
MBG.
Yeah,
MBG.
You live right by that guy, Anthony. You could kick that guy's ass.
Oh, okay, that's the guy you always talk about. Okay, I was like, who is that?
He's in Jersey. He's right by you.
Okay.
Muscle bound
All right.
gamer. He ain't shit. He's got no muscles. I was expecting this big like Arnold Schwarzenegger guy. Then he shows himself on camera. He's smaller than Anthony. I was like,
Maybe
what
his
happened?
muscles in his pants.
That's a good one. Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, this is it's kind of a trippy time, especially with you know, kind of where we're at with these consoles and how they're, and again, like I'm curious now, like with Sony too, like how people are going to react when they announce this mid-gen refresh, and if they have this, either they go to that detachable disk drive and they kind of push people out with that, because some people might not go for something like that. They might just say, no, I'm just going to go
They're gonna
digital.
blame
It's like,
Xbox. They're like, oh, Xbox made them do it. It's like
Yeah,
they
and
had
it's-
this plan before
yeah, like
or
I know
around
they're
the
trying
same
to
time as
slowly
Microsoft.
get people in that like ecosystem, but yeah, like I mean, I agree there always should be at least, you know, some options for people, you know, at least
Yeah.
you know, but I think that there is definitely, you know, I'm kind of like I kind of got both feet in both kind of ecosystems with
rich.
that, and especially with like, you know, game sharing and stuff like that. It is nice to have that as well if you get something digital on your account and stuff. So that's been kind of one thing I've been taking advantage of this gen as opposed to last gen. But I still, all the stuff that I love, I still like to get collector's editions, or like if it's a RE game, obviously, or Dead Space, like even Texas Chainsaw, you know, I like to have that physically because it comes with a poster, and like I'm a horror fan too, so it's like I kind of try to have those particular games that I still like to pick up, and you know, for the new stuff, and then yeah, for old stuff, I just like to still have it, you know, physically get it complete, you know, and talk about the good times, you know, and I do miss video stores too, because that was a great way of renting stuff without spending full price on some games. So if it was crappy, you only spent a couple bucks, you know, and no, not, you know, Blockbuster, because I know a lot of people look at Blockbuster as this, oh, this wistful, nostalgic place. Like, no, Blockbuster was an enemy and actually put a lot of shit
Blockbuster
on
was
the
good
mom-and-pop video stores
in the 90s. Once the 2000s hit, they started charging you $8.99 for 2-day rentals, but they would really put like a $50 hold on your credit card for renting an $8 game.
Yeah, no, like
Did they
I
put
could just buy the game for that.
They put a lot of small businesses out too, right? Like little mom and
Well, they
pops
got
out.
what they
yeah,
deserved. Eventually, it all
they-
came back.
Yeah, they pushed out a lot of, I went to, it was just called Hometown Video around here, and that's where we
Ooh.
went, and that was a staple. I mean, that was it, man. I mean, that was like for my horror movies, for my games, like that's I'll never forget those memories of seeing those covers, seeing the artwork, seeing, looking at the back of the cases and stuff,
Yep.
So yeah, that's the stuff I miss. And yeah, after
Man.
it was definitely it's definitely something now that I wish I could rent a 4K instead of spending $30 on it, or I can rent a new game that may or may not be finished. It might not be complete
30?
because
Ghostbusters
There's
came
no-
in at 40.
no, I know. Believe me,
And
I saw my
Carlito's
account.
Way came at 40. And I haven't even
Yep.
seen Carlito's Way.
Well, at least it is worth that money, but I mean, hopefully you enjoy the movie. But yeah, I miss that. I miss that simpler time for sure. That's kind of that era.
Heck, I'd
that-
even pay some late fees to have back a video store.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, bro.
It would be worth it,
Yeah.
Just to
We
have
had,
that
It was the conversation. See, you have a random people sometimes just sitting in the store. Either it was a
Yep.
game or a movie. You're looking, and somebody be like, "Hey, have you seen that?" And you'd be like, "Yeah, man, it's pretty." You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
these little things, and it became like a trip. Like for me, with some of the people I dated and stuff, like that would be like one of our weekend things. So you
Yep.
go down Friday night, Saturday night, you go to the store, you pick up a shitload of movies and a bunch of crap to eat, and you go back home and
Oh yeah.
you just have a slumber night where you're just munching and watching shit, you know what I mean? It was
Yep.
awesome, and that doesn't
yeah.
happen now. It's almost like the magic of this whole streaming is taking out like everything we used to have, and like now I guess it's just so accessible now that we just take it
Oversaturated
for
in a
granted
way.
that it's just
Yeah.
right at your fingertips, right? Oh, yeah,
Yep.
movie. Don't
Yeah.
even have to go to the movie theaters anymore now, because now pretty much you can rent them for $25 or whatever. Like while they're in the theater, you can basically get them. Or a couple weeks later, you can get like the home premiere, but you pay like $25 or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm
Right.
just like, I ain't paying $25 to rent it. Damn it, I'm gonna pay $25 to get a physical copy. Sorry,
Yep.
I need my 4K, man, with the best audio and visual fidelity.
Absolutely. I mean, that's why I
Yeah,
still
definitely.
get 4Ks and 4K steelbooks, and I still like to have that. And I invest in speakers and receivers. Like I still believe in the setup, and
Yep.
I'm not gonna like if I'm gonna actually spend money on 4K equipment, I'm not gonna get like Perry said, I'm not gonna get a Fire TV. Oh, nice, the complete
yeah.
series. Nice,
The
good
complete
one.
second series.
The second series. Yeah, it's like I'm gonna watch this stuff on like a solid. I'm gonna invest in equipment that gives me the experience that I'm looking for. And some people just want to buy the Walmart TV hanging on the wall, and they're like, yeah, I'm on 4K. But it's like if I'm still getting money, or I'm sorry, still spending money, on these on this 4K stuff, whether it's gaming or movies, I want to be able to actually have it
Might as well
presented.
go all in on it.
Yeah, I'm gonna go all in. So that's
Chill.
just.
You know
yeah,
what, Mike?
so
I
that's
agree.
kinda
I don't like
something
going to the movies either anymore.
Yeah.
See, that was
I
another
still
thing.
do.
Like,
When I was a
Dread
kid, I
says in
loved
the
it.
chat, Dread says he still munches with Netflix and chill, and that's true. But see, here's the other thing. When you went to the video store and you rented it, you realize that you just spent maybe $10 to $20 renting movies. So you had a little more obligation to actually watch the damn
Yes.
things, because now if you got
Yes.
Netflix, I mean, how many times you guys start a movie sometimes on Netflix or another streaming service, you get like 20 minutes in, you either fall asleep or you just like you stop it and go do something else. You're like,
Yeah,
eh.
exactly.
I had
Yeah.
Netflix. It was like a
Just
gym
not there.
membership. I never freaking used it.
That-
Right?
I had it for
Yeah,
like
I
2
used-
years.
I
I was
used to
like,
have-
I still have this, and then I got rid
that
of
was-
it, and I built my home theaters. I ripped all my stuff, all my DVDs and shit.
I remember
Right.
the VHS era, man. I would rent movies and I would watch them 2 or 3 times on the weekend. I would rewind that sucker and watch
Yeah.
it again. Like,
I
yeah, I'm
would do
gonna
the
watch
same
the
thing.
shit
I
out of
remember-
this.
Oh, I
Yeah.
watched the
Terminator
crap
2,
out of it.
Empire Strikes Back,
Yep.
some of those movies, man. I thought I was going to wear the tapes out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I would do the same thing. I remember I have a vivid memory of like finishing the first Nightmare on Elm Street, and then it was like on that same day we went there because my dad had to return something. I rented it, and then that same night I was like, "Hey, can we go back and get the second one?" And my dad's like, "Yeah, sure." And then we just went to the video store, picked up the second one, or rented it, and it was like an old VHS, box and stuff. And it's just like,
Sun faded in the window.
yeah, it's just it was you
Right?
could tell it was from the 80s, like wherever
falling down.
their old location was. It's just
Falling
like
down.
Well,
Yeah, with is that the one with Michael Douglas?
Think of this. Even going to the movies back in the old days, like, and even time, let's say maybe a little more than 10 years ago, was even quite a specialty. Okay, first of all, things weren't as expensive as they are now. Second of all, like
Mhm.
most of us didn't have great hardware at home.
Yep.
You know, see, that's the thing. Like, I remember when I grew up, like, your TV, you were lucky you had a 24-inch television in your house. We thought that was big until those big-ass projection TVs came out that
Right.
still looked like absolute ass, but they were cool because they had huge screens.
projection.
But that was the best of it, and that looked terrible. Now, you thought it was great if you had one in your home, but, like, when you went to the movie theater, you got the best experience.
Yeah.
You had the biggest screen, the biggest sound system, these great chairs, and you're like, man, that's why we go to the movie. But now, because our own homes literally are almost as good in most cases. Now we got these wicked ass couches and chairs, and we got
it's like why
big
leave?
fucking 70,
Yeah.
80, 90-inch television screens.
It's like
in
forcing
4K
people to be lazy.
with amazing sound systems. It's like, do we really need to go to, like Mark Mello said, to sit in a theater to watch it just because the screen's a little bigger, and then you got to sit next to some people with BO and they're talking the whole time and over expensive food, and you're like, man, I could just sit and scratch my balls at home and eat just as good a popcorn, right?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
it's
no,
true.
yeah,
know,
correct.
I agree. Like even like
Heck,
around
at
this
least
time
if
of
you
year.
scratch your balls, I mean, at home, nobody's looking at you funny. In a movie theater, but you're getting the wrong idea.
Fred,
Yeah,
you want to
exactly,
tell your movie theater story?
Oh
to
yeah,
Noof?
I didn't tell Noof. Oh, I didn't tell Noof about my. Oh boy.
Fred got in
Oh.
big trouble at the movie theaters, and it wasn't Pee Wee Herman type
Yeah.
Oh
shit.
Lord,
You want to tell him what happened?
Put that in there.
go for it.
It wasn't like Pee Wee Herman. No, yeah. Not that
By the way, he could probably link you in the Discord. There's a news video, like the news filmed all this.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
definitely. Oh yeah, yeah. I'll
Bruce
do that
Leroy.
after.
Hey, Bruce Leroy is right here.
Yeah, there he
Yeah,
is,
there he
Bruce
is.
Leroy.
Last
Show
Dragon
enough.
Steelbook 4K, baby.
Show
Right
enough.
here.
Hell yeah.
All right, tell your
Love that.
story.
All right, so you know the movie Slender Man that came out, right, Noof?
Yeah.
Terrible, absolutely freaking garbage. But anyway,
Yeah.
but yeah, so I went to the release. So I'm known from like my high school. I'm known as like Slender Man because like I dressed up as Slender Man one year for Halloween because I'm 6'4". At the time, I was like a little skinnier, and now I was like about like 150, 160 or something like that. So I was fucking lengthy and slendy like a motherfucker. So yeah, so I was like, you know what? The movie's coming out. This is the perfect time for me to go as Slender Man. This will be a good idea. Because obviously, like for the Star Wars premieres, like people go as Star Wars characters, yada yada yada. So I was like, you know what? Screw it. So me and my friend Jeff, we went to the movie theater, and now as Slender Man, I can't talk, like because like obviously Slender Man doesn't talk or whatever, blah blah blah. Yeah, so I just literally just walk around, just like stare at people. And like the staff was loving it. The staff freaking were like having a blast with it. They were like laughing their ass off, like, "Oh, that's so funny! Yeah, can we get a picture?" And and then we so we got our tickets. We went in, and now let me just give you context. I can't see shit in this freaking mask. Like I am like Stevie Wonder and Ray Charles had a baby. Like I can't see fucking anything. I can't see shit. So they're like, oh yeah, theater, blah 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 over there. So going and then so like got our tickets and we're going in the theater. Dark as shit. I am like I can't see anything. Like my buddy had to the reason why I had him there too is like so he can guide me and everything. So he's guiding me. He's guiding me up the stairs. I'm like tripping and falling. I'm like I hear like something playing. But I'm like, oh, it's just probably the previews, blah blah blah. So I'm like tripping and falling up the freaking stairs and crap. I'm like, it's like falling on my ass. And then I go I don't know if it's like I went to the way back, but I think I went to like maybe like the last row. And I just like stood in the middle of the aisle and just stood there and looked straight at the screen. And I was just like dead set. I was like, while I was looking at it, I was like, wait, is that the new commercial for Mission Impossible? I was like, oh wait, that looks like the end. Uh-oh. I went into the ending of Mission Impossible. And not knowing that the commercials for Slender Man haven't started yet. So like I'm just standing there while like these people are just enjoying their lovely movie of Mission Impossible just as Slender Man standing directly right there. and then as soon as I before I know I see like this big bright light just come right at my face, just like hold on, wait, like I got you, give me a second. It's like this, just like and then they're like, come on, take the mask off. I'm like, oh, this isn't good. So I take the mask off. I open the door, go outside, go out there, and I see a whole barrage of fucking people. Like an army of Karens, just just screaming and like freaking just like it's like freaking like Braveheart out there. It's like freaking like
what have you done, Fred?
it's like They may take our lives, but they don't. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, so I just like look. I'm like, and then some guy like literally like as soon as I walk out with the police officer, some guy just comes up and like, you should be ashamed of yourself. How dare you like like do that? You almost gave my wife a heart attack. And now and the police officer had to move him back. Like, sir, step aside. No, don't. So yeah, pretty much moral of the story is like they're like complaining to the manager, blah blah blah. Yeah. Pretty much like what happened was like like they just let me off. Like I didn't do anything illegal. Like they knew it was just like a joke.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like they weren't like like, oh, we gotta arrest her. Like even like the people were like, aren't you gonna arrest him? It's like he didn't do anything illegal.
Yeah, but they went after you on social media. They're like, here's the guy.
Yeah, no. Like literally like after the news post, they like literally like zoomed up on my face and like the next day. And they're like, well, we gotta find this guy. Like, like he like, we gotta get him. Yeah, we gotta all get him. Yeah. But then little
Evil dies tonight.
yeah, I didn't know this was happening too. But my friends like tagged me in a post like while I was at work the next day. It's like, hey, Freddie, you might want to take a look at this. So I just look and I see all these like messages. I'm like, oh, okay, wow. All right, yeah, cool. I might be
just from that.
I might be dead by like 8:01 tonight. This is great. but yeah, no, like literally, like my friends, like they were the goats that day. They like literally like the Avengers from like the Avenger Endgame. Like all like the people just come from behind me. I was just like, Avengers, assemble! And like literally, they just went ooh, and just like you ain't doing shit, bro. You ain't doing shit.
Yeah, that's the thing too. It's like people again, like they weren't even there, and some people were just like acting.
Yeah,
like you did
they're just random people, just like, oh yeah, he looks like. And you know what's funny? They said that I was a juvenile, which means like like I'm under the age of like 18 or something. I was 21.
Yeah, it's like they try to make you some like punk ass.
Naive. I think I was like 22 or 23 or something like that. Actually,
Right.
I was like,
what are you, Hulk Hogan?
Oh,
You're just making stuff up.
Yeah,
it's like what the heck?
Lying
But yeah,
everyone.
like I felt so bad like with the manager that like, the manager was so cool. No, he was so nice. Like God bless him. But like because I was like, I'm so sorry. I did not mean for you to call it. Blah, blah. He was like, oh no, don't worry. You can still see the movie. Don't worry about it. It's all right. It happens.
Yes, it's like you didn't necessarily get kicked out entirely.
Yeah,
The
no.
movie, you're just banned from the theater next time.
Yeah, but the movie freaking sucked ass too. So
All that for nothing. Dreadpool,
Yeah,
the
all
$2
that
super chat. Great
nothing.
show, panel, chat, and guests. Clap, clap, clap.
So yeah,
Thank you.
yeah. I'll
They
link
never,
the.
they never kick out that guy in the back row as Jester Chewbacca, but in all factuality, he is actually not Chewbacca. He's just Harry.
But yeah, I can send you the link for the YouTube video after stream if you want to.
Why don't you put that in the chat so other people can see?
What, in the YouTube chat?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, yeah, I'll do that right now. Gotcha.
He was on the
Yeah,
news
man.
because of this.
Let me see if I can find it.
As far as theaters, like I
Slendy
still like
dies tonight.
I still like theaters. Obviously it's expensive. Like I go to a Cinemark because around me, I mean, Cinemark's still this, a bigger franchise, but I don't like the AMCs around me. They're kind of crappy. So I like going to Cinemark, but I usually just go because me and my girlfriend Callie like to go, and that's like we that's like what we do. But like I don't like to go all the time when it's just like there's nothing out. There has to be like something that really like brings me out to see it. But sometimes we'll go see like random stuff that like it may be good or may not be good because I get free movie credits each month and stuff like that. So I feel like I try to take advantage of it. It's still kind of fun, especially around like the October season. If there's like Exorcist is out. So I'm gonna go see that, even though it might not be good. But I have free tickets, so I might as well go check it out. So things like that, I try to look for little reasons to go out because I still like the experience. I still like getting the popcorn.
Oh, me too. Definitely, me too. I'm right there with you.
Yeah, it's just like that old school. But even though, it's kind of been more like more, I guess, meaningless as time goes on in terms of like people having setups and the movies being so readily available.
Remember our conversation from earlier tonight revolving around VR? I said I think this is going to be the next logical step for movie theaters if they want to try to avoid the dodo bird. They need to come up with obviously very highly sophisticated VR lenses, maybe something as small as the glasses you guys got on your face.
Right.
Pretty much like the 3D glass. At least something that's not overly bulky, sweaty, and obtrusive, right? So they need to come up with that. At least if it gets the point across, and they're going to have to come up with movie experiences that you can't get at home, period. You know, that you need to go to see this and convince people why it's worth the money. And again, make movies. Say like the next Top Gun, where you're not just watching the movie, you're actually a participant in it. You're literally sitting in the cockpit of a jet while this is happening. You know,
Right.
you're
Sitting
on
next
the
to
ground
Tom
level with
Cruise.
bullets yeah, right next to Tom Cruise. There's bullets
Boys
flying
telling you
past
about
your head,
Scientology.
and you feel it. Now, could you imagine?
Hey.
Could you imagine how the horror movie genre would actually explode? Like you would have people probably freaking screaming.
Oh
You'd
yeah.
have a whole new level
Bloody
of insanity inside of a movie theater.
Imagine
Oh,
a
man, that'd be
found
great.
footage VR movie where like you're like
Right?
viewing it through the camera. Yeah, that'd be fucking scary, man. You know,
Mhm.
you
Right?
could have
You
some
imagine
crazy
in
shit
Terminator
from that.
2, Anthony? You remember this? We saw Terminator 2 in the theater a few years ago.
Oh
And
yes, the
when
re-release in
Arnold gets
4K.
on the truck and he just
Hmm?
unloads on the T1000. Imagine if
Mhm.
like you're like in the view of the T1000, Arnold's like, and you're supposed to go like
Right?
this.
Yeah.
Yeah, imagine
You're
a
like, whoa,
Jurassic
whoa.
Park movie where you're actually now on the ground level being chased by this Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Oh
How
yeah.
you'd shit your freaking pants seeing and hearing that. Like, that actually looks real now. Not just you're watching a big screen, but literally looks like it's standing over you. Because I tell you, man, I was sold on VR. When I played the PSVR for the first time and I played the Star Wars Battlefront level, where it
Nice.
was just that 15. I don't know if you guys try this, but that 15-minute level they had on the Battlefront exclusive for PlayStation, where you got inside the cockpit of a Jedi fighter, and it literally felt like you were in the real freaking thing. And I was like, this is as
Mhm.
close to as a normal person who's not on a movie set is ever going to get to be actually in an X-wing. And when
Right.
that first asteroid, and especially the first Star Destroyer, I remember it vividly, came over my head. And this didn't look just like a big ship. Like you watch it on a regular screen, you go, yeah, that's a big ship. But when it flew over my head in VR, it was like, oh my God, the Empire State Building just went over my head in VR.
Right.
It was it was insane, and you could feel the rumble in the headset, and you could feel the like it was like, holy gentle God. And I was like, now I know why this VR shit is amazing,
Mhm.
because the depth, the scale, it's right at your face. It's just
Yeah.
insane. It
Yeah.
feels
Well-
like you're literally in there and not just watching.
Yeah,
Right.
definitely. Like
Hey,
if they
Neil,
had
I
like,
think
you know,
RWK's got a comment for you.
Oh man.
Let's see what
oh
he's got.
my
Imagine
god.
Arnold sperm on your face.
Oh man.
Oh,
It would be like this a bit. Come to the chopper. Come on. Open your mouth. I'm going to put a gobstopper in there.
When we were in Terminator 2 a few years ago, I told Anthony the part where the T1000 does the big knife thing and kills the stepfather or whatever, the foster father. I quietly whisper to Anthony, "Can my Xbox do that?" And some guy in front of us goes, "Yo,
Yeah. Like he hasn't seen the movie in like
Yeah,
for 30
I'm like,
years it's been out.
is this guy fucking for real?"
this movie came out in like the early '90s. Like, what the hell?
Yeah, he's acting like we're talking over
Yeah.
some important, and we weren't even loud. Perry wasn't like, "Can my Xbox do that?" He was just like, "Can my Xbox do that?" The guy was like, "Yo."
That's when you just like bring a bullhorn or something like that. Like, can my Xbox do
Yeah,
this?
yeah.
Well,
Like,
towards
he was
the end,
with
I had
the
to use the
girl.
restroom, so I thought about right when he melts, I was gonna go, "No!" and just run, and I was like, "I'm
You
not
know
gonna
what the
do that."
PlayStation does better than your mother? It sucks.
And it's funny too because the guy was trying to act tough. You know, he was
Oh,
with his girl.
shit.
He was trying to act tough. It's like, dude, you don't gotta pull that shit here. Like, it's Terminator 2.
Right.
Like, literally, like this movie came out like 30 years ago.
Yeah, it wasn't
like,
a
calm
Notebook.
yourself.
It was fucking Terminator.
Yeah, it's like, dude, come on. And it's in
Like, what's
4K.
gonna
It's
happen?
not like you're
Someone's gonna
missing
die.
anything
Ugh.
visually, you know what I mean? Because it had the fixed like windshield. You know, it had all the fixes that he went back and did for that cut. But it's like you're not like everything else is still the same. It's not like you're missing anything. You know.
Mike, take care. Thanks for coming in.
Take care, buddy.
I think
care,
we're
Mike.
free. I think we're all free on what, October 18th?
Whatever that Tuesday is that week.
Because you're not here next week. Your brother's here, and then
Right,
week
and then
after
yeah, so that
is-
it would be that too. I think it would be. I think you
Yeah,
said
that-
Tuesday the 17th.
17th or the
for
whatever
his
it is.
show. And then yeah, so yeah,
All right, sounds
that
good.
could work.
So yeah, Mike, whatever. Just let me know, and
Yeah.
I'll let you know when we're available. Fred can't come on.
Yep. Nope. Not allowed. I'm not allowed. I'm too young.
You have a spot here now.
Yes.
But yeah, I don't know if there's anything else I wanted to bring up here for the show.
You want to check the
besides-
internet real quick?
I'm sorry, guys. I kind of took us off on a bunch of rabbit holes tonight, didn't I?
Oh no, this was
It's
great.
not
We
bad.
No, this is
actually,
awesome.
It was great.
This
It was
is
great to
great.
bounce-
This is what we
bounce
end up
stuff
doing
off.
anyway. We always go down a rabbit hole at some point.
Yeah,
or
like we
something.
have topics, but we always kind of go on like, you know,
We were called the
random
movie
rants and
complainers at one
tangents.
point because we were talking about movies for what, like 2 hours at one time.
Yeah, we had to
Okay,
reel it
guys,
back.
we have
Perry
this,
was like,
we
yeah,
have
we
all
gotta
of these
cut.
things set up for you tonight on this podcast, but Nufa Nukem, he showed up with his garbage bag, and this is what happened.
It's all, you know, that's
17,
awesome.
24, 31st. Yeah, because you're
Okay.
filming. I don't know if Mike knows this, but you're filming the Resident Evil. What's it called? Diaries or something?
Yeah, a film in The Keeper's Diary. It's a Resident Evil fan-funded, you know, film.
It
It's
was
a short
funded
film.
what, $50,000 or something?
$55,000 what we
Oh.
raised. We asked for 40 and we got 55.
That's
so It's
amazing.
gonna be
That is
it's
dope.
great, but I'm gonna be a camera assistant on it. I'm gonna be help shooting the thing, and I'm gonna be driving over to
Nice.
Michigan. So it's gonna be between October. Well, I'm leaving on the night of the 19th. Like, you know, like I said, after we record that show that night, like around this time on the 19th, and then I won't be back until the 30th. Probably.
Handy Andy was on.
realistically. So maybe we could do it on the 17th if that works. 'Cause I'll be away for the 24th and the 31st. But we can figure it out if it's even not
Yeah.
in October. If it you know.
I
Definitely.
wish
not
I
the
was
case,
next to
but,
you, man, because I'd be free if you ever needed a cast member for Resident Evil. I audition for the I'll be the fat merchant guy inside of the trailer.
Well, Fred can't get in because he won't have sex with Anthony.
Oh, come on, that's not the stipulation. That's not the stipulation I said.
He said you wanted a guy with hair.
Yeah,
Sorry.
that was the standard. But
Well,
On
no,
your ass counts, doesn't it?
yeah.
The drapes. Do the drapes count?
But yeah, it's gonna be cool. Yeah, it's gonna be an awesome project, and yeah, we're just trying to, you know, like especially because Residents of Evil is really, they're the ones that are kind of launched everything as far as the Indiegogo and getting
Already
the
offered my
director on board and
services.
everything. So it'll be really cool to collaborate and to make something that we would like to see as fans, because we kind of got screwed over all those years with live action stuff for RE. So it's gonna be fun, and I need the experience to work on a big set like this. And yeah, I gotta do a lot of homework ahead of time. I gotta look up the camera we're using. We're using the same camera they shoot like Stranger Things with, like Netflix shows. Like I gotta look up
nice.
I gotta look up how to work the camera. A lot more than just like, oh, I could use a DSLR. Like, no, I have to be on it. So yeah, I got a lot of stuff I gotta do on my end, but it's all to give everyone the best that we can do. So it's gonna be fun.
Better than what we did. We just did for my class. We just used an iPhone.
I mean, dude, it's all
Yeah,
good. I mean, I've done a lot of DIY stuff with my stuff as well, where it's like, it might seem like this like big production, but it might have just been, all right, 6 of us and a camera and we made it work.
Yep.
It's like, but that's this is gonna be, even with what we have, it's gonna be a lot of cool stuff.
You want to
that
drop
hopefully
your
make
horror
that
movie in the
happen.
chat, Fred? Sorry.
Yeah, I gotta get
You're
it.
good. Yeah, but yeah. Oh, I guess we can real quick. I guess we'll talk about Separate Ways, because that did come out, right? If you
I've
just wanna
been
talk
showing
about
the
that.
whole game right here all night.
So yeah, I mean, it's been showing here, so I might as well say. I mean, I did
Yeah.
my review on it, but man, Separate Ways, it's probably my favorite RE DLC up until this point. It was Lost in Nightmares, but I think this put the cherry on top as far as RE4 Remake, a nice send off for the story, and it answered all the questions. It got everyone set up for what's going on next.
Someone's
And
a camera on a couch.
I was I was satisfied with what they gave us for $10. Can't really complain, and I
For
think
$10, that was it was a freaking steal. It was better
It's
than that
phenomenal.
Rose DLC.
they could have charged, like, for the Rose DLC they charged 25.
Yeah.
For this they charged 10, and I thought it was great. It was awesome to stream it. I did a review on it. I have a podcast discussion coming out on it that I recorded. It's just myself kind of going through the game and talking about, or the DLC and talking about it. But it's a nice end of the era for RE4. It's like the game got announced in June of 2022, and here we are in September of 23, seeing the end of like this little era. I mean, obviously it's still going to sell and people are going to buy it. We got the VR coming out in the oh shit.
This is my Resident Evil character. I am the hibernating foreskin.
Oh man.
I'll see you in VR.
VR.
This is a Chicago typewriter when you need it.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Here's the Chicago sweeper.
Chicago
Yeah, and they added the RPD outfit back as well, which is cool. You got to get an S+ with every character on the mercs, which is cool.
Oh, liquor sandwich. How many times are you gonna get this wrong, buddy? He says more DLC is coming.
Look, a lot of people are talking about that, whether or not they'll do something like that. Is the door open? Is the door open for it?
Jim Bover.
They could always make something if they wanted to, right? But I don't think we'll get an Operation Javier as much as I would like it, liquor sandwich, and I know a lot of fans would like it as well. This seems like
Now we're gonna get
wrap up.
Operation Javier Code Veronica remake.
Well, I know a lot of people were talking about, them doing another story like that in a spin-off game, and I wouldn't even be opposed to like an Ada spin-off game, to be honest with you. But I think they should get back on the Revelations thing and try to give us another spin-off, because they haven't really given us something like that since they've been doing this like remake mainline. So I would like them to kind of introduce something else, or maybe tell another story.
Operation Dino Crisis, that's a good one.
But yeah, that's the one thing I
Two
really
girls, one Arnold. Wouldn't it be two maids, one Arnold, King?
Oh man.
I make
What's
sure
the
when I'm with the
difference?
maid, it only takes me about 60 seconds. That's why they call me the Minute Maid.
That's awesome.
Oh shit.
Yeah, a lot of people were talking about that, Stephen Mac, about how the speed run for RE3 was quicker than Separate Ways. I know people are getting Separate Ways down to a faster time. They're beating it in an hour.
I beat it in 2 hours for cheese.
Yeah. So yeah, I know a lot of people enjoy it better than RE3 just as much. Wherever you fall with RE3 remake, I think if you liked RE4, I think this will be a nice send off and a lead into the next remake, which is clearly pointing towards RE5. So I can't say, I mean, Capcom hit it out of the park. I can't say more than enough good things about this thing. So it was fun to stream. It was fun to play. Capcom sent it to me like early in the morning on the Thursday. So I kind of wish I got a little more of earlier access like some other people got, considering I am a Capcom creator after all. But I was able to still cover it. Not like I would have liked to with the urgency, but I still was able to get it out there as soon as I, could stream it and play it online. So it was fun. It was a lot of fun. I would say check it out. The price dropped for RE4 as well, so it's $40. So with the DLC, you're spending $50, and you're getting some good content. So RE4 remake, one of the best remakes they ever made. So
yeah, Noof. Whenever you have to go, it's cool.
Yeah.
I don't know how long you guys normally run this show, but yeah, I think I'm going to take off for now. So
yeah, it's all good, man. Yeah,
Noof,
I know
thank you for coming on. And just like Dreadpool, you have an open pass. You could come on whenever you want.
Yeah, thanks for talking, and it was really fun talking about all the topics and whatnot.
What'd you say? I got open gas? Yeah, that usually too, yeah. No, you guys are amazing. Thanks for having me here. Sorry if I kind of went off on a few rabbit holes and
whatnot. Not at all.
That's what we do here.
Yeah,
knows that I'm sincere. I'm honest. I tell it the way I see it. Not like I said, not necessarily right, not necessarily wrong. Just my opinions on things. Some people don't like it. Like I said, I'm just a creature of habit. I hate a lot of change, especially when I think sometimes changes are really necessary. Sometimes in this industry, you got to stay status quo too. I mean,
sure.
It's a little bit of both, right? It's just like people in electric cars. There's still a place for gas cars, and some people are always going to want those engines, and much the same with video games. I just feel like it's like I said, one side dictates the other a little too much, and I just hope that people don't forget that not everybody wants to run into these ecosystems that they're trying to dictate on us, but. Yeah, man. But otherwise, like I said, I had a great time here. Lots of laughs tonight. Great stories. Awesome topics. Chat was awesome. You got a lot of great people here. I can see that. So it looks like a few regulars. And I see some people that normally come out to my podcast in here as well. So fantastic to see them here, especially guys like RWK88 Dreadpool, obviously. Mike Mullis. There's a few other ones I think that were in here tonight that I recognize that are normally frequent around my neck of the woods. Game Cleaners, it was awesome having you on the other week, and look
Thank
forward
you.
to getting you
It's awesome
back.
being
And
on.
any of you guys you want to come on my show, you just let me know, man. If I'm not following you already, I will be after tonight, and let's do
deal.
this again sometime. It was a lot of fun, and
definitely.
I hope that your audience enjoyed my visit. And
Oh yeah, they did.
we'll see you back here soon, hopefully.
All right,
Definitely,
Noof.
man. Sounds
Take
like a
care.
pleasure.
Thank you again for coming on.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, guys, appreciate you having me. Have yourself a great night. We'll talk to you soon, and all the best.
All right,
Yeah,
have a
you
great
too,
night.
Noob.
man.
Take care. Have a good night, man.
See ya.
Take care.
Peace out. Sweet.
Good
And
dude.
that's Noof, the legend himself.
The
He
legend.
is a
Look,
legend. He
You
really
can check out
is.
the
Oh,
Gaming Fuse podcast.
I love him.
And,
I love him so
I've
much.
been
Man.
listening to him for like on and off 10 years, like depending on what shows.
Right.
I never thought I'd be doing a show with him or he'd be on our show. Never thought in a million years.
That's what's
awesome.
great, right? It's that's what's cool about the stuff we do or the people that we meet online. You know, it's like you start the network with them and then you do stuff and you collaborate and like that's what it's about. You know, there's
Check
not
out
like
Noof's channel in the description. I put it in the description of the video for tonight. And I mean, he's in the chat right now. So click on his thing, subscribe, and check his videos out. Every Tuesday
Yeah.
night, every Monday night, he does the Gaming Fuse podcast.
Yep. Yeah, and of course there's been a bunch of
problem,
gaming
Noof.
news.
The chat loves you, buddy.
Yeah, that was awesome. That was such a fun guest to have on, and yeah, it's cool to get because people like to hear different.
He has an open pass. He can
people
come
on
on
here.
whenever he wants, just like Dreadpool and everybody else.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. When we do have people on here, it's
even
fun
if he
just to hear
says
that.
even if he doesn't say he's coming on and he just jumps in, cool. I don't care. Everything's good.
Yeah,
Just to think this all
Yeah.
happened because of Miko. Yes, and only one man in this chat room has the Miko right now.
that's funny. That's
Thank
actually
you,
really
Noof.
funny.
I appreciate it. It
because-
was great because you were on.
Yeah, that's it was very fun, and yeah, you guys have an awesome show over there. So keep up
Miko
the great
does bring
work.
people together. That's true.
Yeah, even though it never actually showed up at anyone's doorstep, you know, it's like you had to, you know, it's one of those things that like it's just it's funny how much people you kind of meet through the years of doing this, you know what I mean, and how like small little interactions like that at like an Amico event at a Crayola factory or whatever the fuck it was, and
It
you
was
know
a
it's
Crayola
like here we
factory.
are, yeah.
I was a shill. I was paid, even though I had to pay to get in the freaking building.
Right. Yeah, just to check it out, just to
I got
see
that
what was
$1 million
behind those
check,
doors.
and I still had to spend $35
yeah
per person.
Yep. Let's see.
I like
here.
how on the Amico video that we did, it just says we played the Intellivision Amico today. I didn't say anything. That's all. That's the headline. I didn't clickbait anybody. And people were coming in our live streams. Why are the comments turned off on your Amico video? It's because why? So you can tell me I'm a fucking idiot for playing the Amico? Kiss my ass.
Yeah. Just
I will
because
turn these cheeks around and you fucking kiss them, okay? I played it, you didn't. Have a good fucking life, buddy. All right?
Oh man.
It was a great little machine.
That's
I
awesome.
wasn't going to replace my PS5 with the Amico
No.
because, God forbid, I don't bow down to Sony and kiss Jim Ryan's butt. Well, now he doesn't have a butt to kiss, so there you go.
Well, on the topic of Sony, Stevie Mac just reminded me. Yeah, so the PS Plus games were announced for next month, and Callisto is on there.
PS4 and PS5.
PS4
It's a
and
good
PS5.
deal.
That's actually a really good deal.
Get
And
the game for free.
despite what people, you know, obviously it didn't do well. We know what happened with Glenn and he left. We talked about that last week. However, for the price of the subscription, I would play it. I mean, Callisto is a solid game in my opinion.
If you got
They
the
fixed a
subscription,
lot of
definitely
the-
play it. Don't sleep on
Yeah,
it.
they don't sleep on it. If you're a horror fan, and Stevie Mac, I don't know if you played it personally, but if you have the Plus thing, just check it out. I forget if you played it or not, Stevie, but regardless, it just hopefully people check it out. Obviously, it's not the worst game ever made like people were making it out to be. There was problems, they did fix them. But you know, to each their own, I guess. But yeah, that's not bad at all. I'm trying to see the other.
Back from the dead. Noof was the first person I talked to in the podcast community in one of his community game nights. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, I just found out about him through Perry, and it was really really awesome to hear his show, to hear the show Perry was on, but to also check out some of his back catalog podcasts. What is he? The gaming, the backlog. I'm saying back catalog, like my backlog of games. But yeah, no, the back catalog of stuff that he's doing, and it was really cool to have him on tonight. That was awesome. Let me see. I'm trying to pull up the other games real quick that they announced. Just gotta go to the blog here. What else is coming in October? And I mean, especially for October as well. That's a nice game to have on there.
I love you guys. You guys are like family. Awesome, King. You're like family too, man.
Yeah, thanks for always
Love you.
supporting our stuff.
He knows that Christmas is coming up. He wants us to give him a Christmas sweater.
Yeah, for ready for the giving season.
Oh, trust me.
He needs a beer and a Christmas sweater.
So Callisto, Farming Simulator 22, and Weird West are the games, but obviously Callisto's probably the one that most people would want to check out.
Obviously, Farming Simulator. Come on, Anthony.
I mean, farming. Some people would probably say that's better than Callisto, but I would say that Callisto is a good it's a good pickup for a subscription. Just to download it, check it out for October. Especially now that we're getting one less horror game in October because Alone in the Dark kind of got moved.
MetaQuest 3 stream tonight. No, I didn't watch it. I was asleep, and but I did see that it was announced and they showed everything off.
Yeah, so yeah, they did kind of.
And how Anthony got ripped off because he didn't wait a couple more months.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. You know what I mean?
I know what happened.
Yeah, it's more like they're going to update this stuff all the time, and there's going to be they're going to be it's coming out October 10th, so it is right around the corner.
It's my anniversary.
So I guess so we'll be able to see how people feel about that. I mean, obviously, a lot of people like the Quest because again, you can break into it how you'd like. It's on PC. You can do what you want with it. You can have mods on it and stuff like that. And that's what I really liked about the Quest 2 is the fact that you have that option. So I think the people that are kind of built into that Quest ecosystem will probably follow and upgrade if they want, if they feel they need to, or if they're just jumping in. I just want to say that, man, I was really impressed with the Quest 2, and I got it just for the channel and RE4, and I was blown away. I mean, it was I can't say more than enough things about like the price point as well was reasonable, but also just the way that I also didn't get motion sickness or have those problems as I had to obviously take breaks still, but the PSVR 1 gave me a lot more motion sickness issues than the Quest. Like the Quest just got it right. Also, there was less, wires and less, crap in front of you. Right. So that helped. The PSVR 1 was cool, and I did like it, but I definitely had to take a lot more breaks, and I was, I do that thing where like I start to yawn a lot because you're straining your eyes. So I just start yawning, like when I'm streaming, I'm just like, like, because you're just trying to strain, trying to play that thing for a while. But and that goes for both Quest and PSVR. You just got to take breaks sometimes. But
we were so hoping, like when you were streaming that, because you had a video of you like standing there with the headset on. We were like, we hope his cats fucking bite him or jump on him or something.
Yeah, no, I would have to. I think there was one where they were down there. There was one stream where they were down like in the they're walking around, but I made sure like Callie, because Callie would be the one that was like making sure I wasn't gonna hit the ceiling, or like I would get into it and I'd like, I'd hit my hand on the shelf, you know what I mean? Like, so I'd have to like, have someone there, but then also, I'd have to just put the cats upstairs. I'm I don't want to like,
I've almost stepped on my dog so many times because I have a Quest 2 as well. Like I'm almost stepped on my dog so many times because I'm like moving around and she's like, "Wait, are you okay? Is everything all right?" And then like I almost step on her. I'm like, "I'm sorry."
Your buddy's family wants to trade in their Quest 2, Fred.
Really?
Yeah.
Wait, what?
The guy you work with that we know.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So
really?
I'm probably gonna get that soon.
Oh, nice. Cool. Yeah.
Then
Stevie
I
Mac
could
is
try Resident Evil.
Stevie Mac is.
Even if you don't get it, you can try it on mine. I can bring it over to the shop.
Oh yeah.
I got pink eye.
Yeah, you're right, Stevie Mac. Counter-Strike 2 did randomly get.
I'm gonna try
Counter-Strike 2 is out.
I'm gonna try the RGH3 and Xbox Falcon console. It's a fact. I ordered the diodes. You can't go to, like Noof was saying, I can't go to Radio Shack and buy a fucking diode. I had to order it online.
Yeah.
Yep.
I could have done this today, this morning, but there's no one that sells diodes anymore.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I miss Radio Shack.
So I had to order diodes from Amazon. I got to wait till tomorrow by 10 p.m.
And also, it sucks too, because like the Best Buy like around like we don't have a Best Buy like really close to us. Perry,
We got
like, where we
Monroe.
live. Yeah, which is like what, like 20 minutes away.
If you take the back road, it's like 10 minutes. If you
Yeah.
take Angola all the way up, it's like 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm. Yep. True.
I was there today. It was like a 2-second deal. But yeah, I mean, I could have just gone to Radio Shack and bought the fucking diodes.
Yeah.
Now I had to order them, and I gotta wait. And then tomorrow night at like 1 a.m, I can install the stupid thing. Possibly. If I don't screw up the whole board. So basically, someone gave us a 360, not at the shop, just somebody my wife works with. He was going to throw it away. He's like, maybe your husband wants it because he's got the shop. So it doesn't have the power cord, but I had one at the shop to test it with. And it didn't read games. So, of course, I took it apart. It was like refurbished from GameStop. Dude, they fucking put the bolts.
Oh my god.
They bolted the friggin' CPU fan and not CPU fan, the cooler. They bolted the cooler with bolts. It was like the red ring fix over at GameStop.
Oh, jeez.
So I took the drive out. I actually hacked the drive and I fixed it.
Wow.
It was able to read regular games.
Nice.
Clean the drive a little bit, and the system worked. Now here's the funny thing:
Was it a slim?
No, it's a fat.
Oh, okay.
But the fats are easier to RGH3 because the soldering points are bigger. So I'm gonna try to do that tomorrow with the diodes.
Nice.
It'll be the first RGH3 I do if I do it successfully. So we'll see. Then I can put GoldenEye on it.
Hell yeah. I was showing my friends that version the other day, actually. I was like, this is what we should have got on the Xbox.
It's funny,
Game
there's a plastic shroud in the fats. And I took it off because I disassembled it. I turned it on, put Gears 2 in, it worked fine. Then the thing overheated. I was like, what the fuck? Why is it overheating? I put the plastic shroud back in. It was fine. It needs that plastic shroud to pull the
block
air.
it.
Yeah, to block it and just pull the air into one direction. And then that thing was as cool as a freaking icebox.
Wow.
And I played the
That's
game
cool.
for like almost an hour. Nothing happened. It was great. But
It's good like a sandwich.
it's just so weird, right? How they configured that machine.
Yeah, that's so weird. Those little differences, and then you don't know until like someone like yourself takes it apart, and then you see like how you can do it. You're like, all right, this seems to be a little bit different because I mean those, again they're prone for overheating, but like once they're able to kind of get
Quest 3 before Nuke left. Nuke left.
Oh yeah.
I said Nuke.
Yeah, I know that would have been a great segue because we were talking about the Quest, but yeah, I
Mhm.
guess we didn't. That was my bad. I didn't think about that on top of all the
Counter-Strike
other
2
stuff.
launched today. Yes.
It did. Yeah, they're doing
Oh
like a
yeah, I
limited
forgot about that.
Listen,
Yes.
Yeah.
I was up all day. I was up from like, I don't know, 12 o'clock last night, midnight.
I was helping my friend move all day, so I was even surprised I saw the
I was up
I was
from
driving
midnight
back
all the
and
way to
forth in PA.
1:30 p.m., okay? I go to bed. I wake up a couple hours later to Anthony blowing up my fucking phone. Everyone's in the group chat saying, oh my God, I can't believe you were right. I'm like, what is going on? It's like Jim Ryan's gone. I'm like, oh shit. I slept through all this stuff all the time.
It's weird because like I said, I was helping my buddy move, and like I pick up my phone, I check it. The first thing I see, I'm like, no way. And Callie's like, what? And I'm like, this is great. I was like, Jim Ryan, he's gone. And she's like, who's that? I'm like, that's the Phil Spencer for like Sony. And she's like, oh. I was like, yeah. I was like, why does it always happen? I looked at her, I'm like, this always happens when we're about to record. I'm like, I'm happy this happened like, today and not Thursday, because that would have been, another like news break type shit. But yeah, I'm happy that we were able to talk about it. And yeah, I saw that and I was just like, what are the chances of all this crap just dropping? As soon as Frank leaves, all this stuff comes.
Yeah, right.
The walls start falling down, But yeah, no. And as
Speaking
far
of
as
Frank, we'll hear
Cyberpunk,
from him later.
oh, there you go. Yeah. As far as Cyberpunk though, well, Fred's played it. I haven't played Cyberpunk, but I heard the update's good.
Fred
It's
Punk?
really good. Like the updates are like really solid. Like compared to like like the freaking like the when it first came out, like you were glitching all
Sure.
over the freaking
Yeah,
place,
yeah.
you were crashing all over the guy.
Every port had problems. Yeah.
Oh yeah, like everything like was just like going bad. Now it's like it runs smoothly, it looks great, like everything's really
I've been
good. You
meaning
can
to actually
enjoy
like
it.
check it out. Yeah, like now that it's obviously I'm gonna wait for this build up
I
and
think
coming and stuff
it's
to like
VB
jump on
streamed
it.
that earlier today.
That's cool.
So check his
Yeah, it's
channel
really
out.
good.
It's VB. He super chatted
So
earlier.
so it's what like X amount of like what 8 hours of story or how long is it?
Apparently they
supposed to be?
changed everything, like the control scheme and all
Yeah.
that.
Really?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
haven't beat it yet because it's just so long of a fucking game.
There's a lot of stuff in there.
There's a
Okay.
lot of side stuff you could do. You want to build your person up to like your
Sure.
certain skill. You want like build yourself up because certain things like require certain like you won't be able to beat it at like the level you're at. So you have to like build yourself up, do this stuff, do this quest for this guy, do that quest for that guy, this, that, and the fourth, and it's a big game.
Well, that's good though. That's a good problem. I mean, same thing with Starfield. It's a good problem to have. And like they were saying on even I think it was on Gaming Fuse when Perry was on there about like Starfield, where it's like the more you put in, the more you get back, kind of that thing. So it's like a lot of those games, like when you also take your time, especially because they did really put a lot of time into Cyberpunk, despite like how it launched. There's still a lot of detail within there, and that's I gotta respect that, even if I haven't played it yet, just from all my friends that have been psyched on it since it came out. Or, I know Liquor Sandwich has talked about it in the chat before, and you guys have talked about it. And it's like, it always just seems like a really solid, piece of content there that definitely was worth the wait. It's just a matter of like, they had to just, tweak it a little bit after that rough launch, but it's still
because they got
like
rushed.
Crazy. Yeah.
They got rushed. It's like, it sucked. Like, like they had to get like, they're like, come on, we need this game now. No, it's like, all right, here, fuckers.
Yeah.
Go nuts. Like,
and you're getting it on PS4 and you're getting it on,
but
Project Red was like, you know what?
They really shouldn't have released it in that state, man.
Yeah, no.
We were this close to that next gen push, and it was like at least they could have waited that, and just would have because I know now that the next gen update, or I'm sorry, the current gen update is out, so it's it also kind of makes people want to go and check it out. So yeah, I'll probably wait until I get my next PC build, and then I'll probably dive deep into Cyberpunk.
Definitely.
I'm intrigued. I love the concept. I love the artwork. Like, I know the acting is killer. So, I know it'd be a long game to get into. Yeah, but I loved
awesome.
Edge Runner. Did you watch that anime?
Yep.
So good.
Oh
and it made me want to play the game like even more. I'm like, dude, I gotta
just the world that night, just like Night City in general. It's just like it's such like a freaking great like aspect of like, because like I'm actually in a Cyberpunk D&D game.
Okay.
It's like one of my friends, he's like a freaking he sucks Cyberpunk's dick. He loves like all that shit, man.
Watch out.
He loves all that stuff and everything. So like he runs an actual like D&D campaign, like has its own mechanics and everything.
Holy shit.
That's a lot of fun.
You could buy all the copies I have at the shop. Cyberpunk.
Yeah, I'll be like, yo, just go to Perry's shop, buy all the stuff. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's a really, really like awesome, like it's not a happy world, but like it's a very awesome world to like get into.
No, that's cool, man. I gotta definitely check it out. And what are they charging for this DLC?
Oh,
I don't know. I didn't buy it.
Don't know. I do not know actually, because I haven't played it in a while.
I thought you just told him you played all this.
I didn't play all of it. I played like through half of it. I just haven't played it in like a few.
$30, everyone says in the chat.
$30. Okay.
Thank you. Yeah, the game itself is like
I mean that's
bucks,
probably
I think.
even.
It's like $20.
Sure
I think the game.
Right.
Yeah, when I got it, I think it was like $20.
Yeah, that's not bad at all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's always good to see, especially if stuff's rocky at the start, of a launch like that, when they go back and they make the fans excited and satisfied. You know what I mean? Because I know that took a little bit to get smooth sailing for them. So
it took them like 3 years.
Yeah,
they got it.
Yeah,
4 years.
I didn't believe my friend when he told me, because like we were at work and he was like, "Yo, man, I'm playing Cyberpunk." I'm like, "Oh, doesn't that game suck?" Right? but then he's like, "No,
got a lot
man."
of bad press, for sure.
Yeah, but he's like, "No, it's really good, man. Try it." I'm like, "All right." So I bought it, tried it out. I was like, All right, you want bullshitting me? All right, cool.
Yeah, it was worth the wait, for those people that were just kind of following it bit by bit through the years,
Yep.
because that was teased for a while and advertised. Trying to look and check for other stuff here.
Any
but,
fights online? Any other topics?
I don't see any
trending?
fights. I'm trying to
Any leaks? There were PlayStation leaks we didn't talk about. Sony leaks in general.
Oh well,
38
I know
terabytes.
we're not supposed to say the name on the channel, but we're still not going to say who it was, I guess.
I don't know who
But
it was, so I just heard that they got hacked or whatever. So let's
I'm
not
just
say
going to
anybody's
say
name.
that, yeah, I'm just going to say that you know exactly who it is. And it's it's the same people that did it before. Yeah, we're not going to say their name on here because we don't want to give them any press. But basically, they did it before, and yeah, they hacked a bunch of, like Perry said, like hard drives worth of shit that they have, files, and this is for movies, this is for games,
Emails again. This is like a few years ago. Remember when they said, "Good, Harold Ramis is dead. Let's make a new Ghostbusters."
Yeah,
remember that email got out?
Yes, and so I think that this was another thing. Yeah, thank you for reminding me, Perry. Yeah, that was also in the news where before this Jim Ryan stuff came out. Which I'm wondering too. Like, I wonder if we'll see a little bit more stuff between him and someone else if some emails get out. But we'll see. They did get hacked again, and that's the one thing that I think a lot of people were wondering. Like, oh, are we going to get some good information or some releases? Nothing yet. They're trying to obviously Sony's not going to pay them for it. Obviously, they don't
God of War
they don't do that
in
crap.
the hood.
So.
Coming to PlayStation 6.
Yeah, it's like, what the hell?
Digital only.
Kratos is strapped.
The fans have asked for it. We will debut this game at $299. Sony leaks your credit cards. Yeah, they sure do. Good thing I don't have a credit card on there anymore. I learned from 2011.
Anything on there. I don't have online for that. Nah. Nope.
No, when my subscription runs out on Plus, I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm done.
I don't blame you.
I'm not paying an extra $40. They can kiss my butt. There's nothing on there anyway.
Yeah, no, fuck that.
They got it. Hopefully this new guy fixes all that, but he won't. Listen, the price raises wasn't Jim Ryan. It was Jim Ryan doing everything for Japan.
Yeah, he was just the puppet, basically.
Mean? They're going to keep doing it. They know their fans are dumb and they're going to pay for this stuff, so... When you got people tweeting at them, I'll pay $100 for Last of Us Remake, and they actually do it.
Oh, I'm tired of the Last of Us remakes. I'm so tired.
It won't be the last of them.
It won't.
The second one's coming out soon.
Okay, another thing I wanted to talk about. I don't know if you guys heard about this, but I haven't got a chance to talk to Kyle about this because I know he was playing Payday 3. But Payday 3 is like dead at launch. Because it launched.
Because nobody cares about Payday anymore.
No. There was people trying to play, and the servers literally, I think, are still down as we speak.
Wow.
Why do you launch a game when you don't test anything?
Yeah, there's like an issue with this. Yeah. I was like, what the hell is happening? So let me see if I can pull up something solid here.
New God of Warfare, bitch. What's up, bitch?
Bitch.
Freya's a bitch.
Now, again, I want to say I don't care about Payday 3 personally, but I know some people do.
Did you know that Kratos' first name is John, and people are happy?
John Kratos.
Really? Is John even a Greek name?
It just doesn't fit with.
His fucking last name is Greek, and the first name is John.
John Kratos Papadopoulos. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. John Stamos, John Kratos.
John Stamos.
So you got to get John Stamos to play Kratos in the movie.
John Kratos and the Rippers.
Kratos and the Rippers. Yeah, I mean the launch.
John that was Kratos and the Rippers. The only thing that motherfucker is ripping is farts.
Oh man. Yeah, the multiplayer shit for yeah, cut it out. That's Joey,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But yeah, it launched in a crappy condition. The servers were crashing. It obviously got poor reviews because of it, and the CEO had to apologize and
You know
assure
what's
that they're
going on
working
with these
on it.
online games? They're all coming out fucking broken. Yanis is John in Greek. Okay.
The
Now I
things
know.
we know. The things we know.
Things
The
you
more
didn't
you
know, and now
learn.
you know.
Remember that stupid thing? Well, you guys don't remember because you weren't even around when that thing.
The more you know. A
The
little
more you
colorful
know. When I was a
text.
kid.
Yeah, that's the thing too.
Where's Alf?
Yeah, where's Alf when you need him?
I know Alf. I just haven't seen Alf.
No, but you're right, Perry. A lot
Alf
of this
Hudson.
shit is just coming out a lot more
You got
broken.
Texas Chainsaw broken. You got these other games broken. They're shutting down Evil Dead. It's like, what's the point?
Oh,
Why even
I'm
make
still
these
pissed
online
about
games?
Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I'm still.
I mean,
so
look,
pissed
Texas
about
Chainsaw
that.
is still fun to play, but you got to add that crossplay
For-
back in.
For
Also,
you
balance.
guys, I
Well,
can't
balance.
even play.
They're still balancing stuff. I want to be clear that there still is stuff they need to
There
balance
was
a
a
little
patch
bit.
yesterday that came out that fixed all that, apparently.
Some more?
Yeah,
All right,
The
let me look this
balancing.
up.
Yeah.
It didn't fix the crossplay, but it fixed the balancing.
It was another bit because you know it's funny. They released an update last week that was supposed to fix balancing issues. So I wonder what the hell. Let me pull this up
Yeah,
here.
it was like some like huge freaking update that I had
And
to
knowing is
update.
half the
Um,
battle, that's
automatically
G.I.
do it.
Joe. Knowledge is power. Knowing is half the battle is G.I. Joe. I know that. And knowing
let
is
me
half the
see.
battle. G.I. Joe. Hey, kids. Do you have these electrical lines down? Wow, thanks. We were going to step on it. But now we know. And knowing is half the battle. G.I. Joe. They got the stupidest shit. It's funny.
Because some people are mentioning here
PSAs.
that like because they don't really have like a solid plan for like content updates, that's what can kill Texas Chainsaw, similar to Evil Dead,
Yeah.
where they might not ever get to it. But like I would like to see Gun Interactive kind of repel back a little bit from, you know, I mean there's players on there, but like you get very
Dreadpool just finished a Baby Ruth. Hey,
oh nice.
Dreadpool. Fredpool is going to be in Tampa in 2 weeks.
Yep.
That's cool.
I'll get you a Baby Ruth bar. I got
Oh,
you,
yeah.
Dreadpool. Worry
They'll
about it.
turn you into a Baby Ruth bar. You should take Fred to the haunted house and leave him there.
That's
Wait, is it like a legit haunted house, or is it like just like one of those?
Yeah, did you watch his channel? He went to 2 haunted houses.
Oh
They
yeah.
do, like,
oh
horror
yeah.
attractions there and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Which I'm gonna try to hit up. I'm gonna hit up Bates Motel probably the first weekend of October, which is probably
Nice.
already next weekend because I don't have any other time to do like anything in October. So I
Bates
was like, let me at least
Motel.
go somewhere. Yeah, it's not the actual Bates Motel, it's just called Bates Motel, but it's in Pennsylvania, and it's about like because you could drive an hour from where I'm at in Jersey and get into Pennsylvania.
That would be a problem.
So it's not too far of a drive, but yeah, we're gonna go there with a couple of friends just to do something before the season gets
Just go to
kinda
Bates Motel to
goes
get
by quick.
murdered. No biggie.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, I'll probably go
I
to,
did
like,
actually see the real
someplace
Bates
there.
Motel when I was in California. I did the
Oh,
tour,
that's awesome.
the studio tour, and you actually see the actual house and the actual like set, and you're just like, this is fucking awesome. Like the Back to the Future like center square, like that's like just a set that's just there that they use for multiple movies and use different facades and like, but like you see the clock tower and everything. It was so fucking cool. That alone was just worth to check out Universal in California. Trying to look just for anything else here.
Deadpool also has an interview with Sir Henry's haunted house that he went to. Awesome.
That's cool, man.
You should really invite Dreadpool.
I'm jealous of your
Not
horror
invite him
nights
to
you
your
guys get
hotel,
over there.
but the outside of your hotel, if you know what I mean.
Yeah,
Just say
the
hello to the
perimeter
guy.
of the hotel.
I could have worked at a haunted house probably last year. Like I think someone think they offered me.
Let
a
me
job
tell you
or
something,
whatever.
okay? The town where the shop is at, your town, like 10 years ago, they had a haunted house at the fire department. Bro, that was like I was walking into somebody's fucking living room. That shit wasn't a haunted house. There's
Yeah,
literally
nah.
people standing there and a ghost with sheets on
Boo.
their fucking head. Like they didn't even say boo. They're just like, and I'm like, I paid $10 for this.
No, it's not worth
You're
it.
fucking robbed.
Well, thankfully around here in South Jersey, and at least I'm close enough to Pennsylvania where like we have stuff that's actually pretty decent. but it gets, you have to find the good ones, basically.
Yeah, it can get monotonous at times. Like just like sometimes like oh
Yeah, I try to
they're gonna
switch it
pop
up.
out.
Like,
Yep.
Eastern State Penitentiary used to be a great one, but then now they
Oh,
changed
yeah.
that into a beer garden / a haunted thing. So it's like not really a full, like, so we went to Penhurst Asylum last year, and that was one of the best haunted things I think I've ever been to. It's like set back so far in the woods. It's scary as fuck. Like, you're sitting there waiting in your car, you're like, I think I'm gonna die out here. Like, this is not good. Like, it's so far removed from society. It's so creepy. But yeah, that was a really good one. But yeah, I'm gonna check out Bates Hotel, which is kind of
On
like
the haunted hayride where
reasonable.
Cannibal lives. We have the Headless
That's
Horseman
cool.
over here.
Yeah,
It's
Headless
good, but
Horseman, yep.
I haven't gone before the whole picnic thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I gotta,
It's I don't know, man.
I think
the
I'm
one
gonna
thing-
go next year because I'm dropping weight. So if
It's
I'm
worth-
doing a lot of walking, I want to do that.
I was gonna say it's worth it if you're up for either the walking or if you find ones that are like, because some are just hay rides, and that's cool. Like, if people just like to sit and stuff. A lot of the ones near me, they do a hay ride and it drops you off at like a walking trail. Then you go to the house that's like after that. It's like all like set up in sequence. But yeah, it's so funny. I remember when I was a kid. I don't remember. It might have been called Jason's Woods. It might have been called something else. I forget, but I gotta talk to my dad about it, what it was called. But like, I just remember we were waiting in line and some dude dressed as Freddy Krueger just popped out of a corner and scared the shit out of my dad. He was like, "Holy shit!" Like, he just came out of nowhere. And I just remember that walking trail. Like, I'll never forget it. There was like,
That
it
should've
was
knocked him right
so
out.
dark. Yeah, it was so dark, and I remember like, they had like the Jersey Devil on like, like on this thing, and he was like looking at people as he was walking by, and then they had the chainsaws that kind of chased you out. They had the chainsaws that chased you out of the woods towards the end. And
Remember that Bill
Man, I'll
Gates
never
guy
forget that.
at the Headless Horseman I told you about?
oh right, yeah, yeah,
Oh yeah, I didn't tell Fred this. So we're on after the hayride, you go through the haunted houses, and at the end there's a guy with a chainsaw, and obviously the chain's not on the chainsaw, but he
Right.
revs it up, and he chases you out of the haunted house. So there was like this guy, he literally looked like Bill Gates. He was a nerdy guy, but he was with the really good-looking woman, right? And the guy is like he's like leaving the woman behind him because he's just trying to get through the haunted house.
Oh no,
And we're behind
the
him, and
opposite
we're like,
of what you're supposed to do.
yeah, I'm like, why are you leaving this lady here? Dude, he gets to the end. And the guy with the chainsaw turns around and revs the chainsaw. The guy goes, ah! 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 Like he's really being fucking murdered with a chainsaw. And then he flies. Hey, David Cockman in the credits.
Oh, David Cockman.
The guy
Damn,
flies
what a
out of the
name.
haunted house, and the fucking chainsaw guy's chasing him. This guy sounded like he was being literally cut in half with the chainsaw.
Jesus.
Yeah.
And he left the fucking lady in the thing. The guy's
Yeah, it's like,
chasing
dude,
him
just-
outside, and the lady's standing there like,
At least take her hand and like bring her with you or something. You know what I mean? Like, be courteous. Like, I don't know.
no, he was scared shit.
Jesus. Wonder if Fred Fox is in this.
Fred Fox, not
When
Fred
we
Fox.
moved to this location, they had a section called Hotel California, where the guy recited part of the song, Wake Up Ghosts. People sat in their chairs with sheets and would jump. Wow.
Yeah, it's like there's only it's like how
He's saying that's lackluster.
yeah, it's kind of like, some of the ideas they come up with, they're just like, why did you guys think that this was a good idea for
I mean,
like
it was
a section?
the one
you know?
in town over there where Fred lives. I mean, it was like a fire department thing or whatever, but it was just like the kids didn't even try.
Yeah, no,
They're just
we
standing
have
there in a fucking ghost costume, like looking
yeah,
around.
like
They're not like boo or just try something.
no.
They're just fucking standing there, and you're walking through, and they turn around and like, oh, somebody's walking through, and they turn
Yeah.
back around and looking at their
Right.
iPhone or something.
Yeah, there's one by right near me that's
Should
like
pay a serial killer to go in there, and
oh man,
then they get a real haunted house.
I know that's definitely like a movie too, where I forget the name of it, but it's like that's a concept where it's like, you go to like a haunted thing, but it's real, and it's like,
Yeah.
but that's the thing too. It's like, yeah, some of them are just very lazy. Like there was one that I went that they run it every year, and it's like, it's bottom of the barrel cheap. It's like maybe $15-20, which like it's not too bad for like what they give you, but at the same time, it's like a very lousy like hayride where, like you said, it's just like there isn't like much like I guess like urgency with the actors that are trying to put on like a crappy like wolf mask and try to scare. Like it just didn't really have that effect. Like I like when they have like fields of stuff, or like this like there's a place called Mullica Hill that is like and it's called Creamy Acres, and it sounds like a different kind of event, but
event.
it's it sounds like something else, but it's just this dude that owns his property, and it's just like he sets up these props, and he invests money into it. It's not just something that's dilapidated and like there isn't any like they got to have a budget, they got to like fix stuff each year, obviously, or like change stuff. That's what you want. Those are the kind of attractions you want to go to. So
we used to have an old lady that took her son to haunted houses. He was petrified. The more he got scared, the more she laughed. I miss her. Rest in peace. Well, that's a fun story.
Yeah, I mean, it's all for good fun, and
Look,
and for
I beat the game in an hour, 55 minutes, and 12 seconds. See?
Hell yeah,
it can be done.
It's doable. It can be done, and you could do it faster than RE3 Remake. But yeah, there's something about like this time of year that I always love. There's a reason why I love the East Coast, because I like having seasons, and I like the fall time. So for me, it always reminds me of being a kid and just simpler times. So I love the fall time, and I love the changing of the leaves and stuff like that, because we actually get that. Like you realize when you go out in like West Coast or you go out to California, everything's like dried up. It's like the desert, you know what I mean? Or it's like, so like over here, I'm happy we actually get like, stuff to look at and different things to see, like stuff change, you know what I mean? Like leaves change and you feel that like cold air come in. Like, I don't know. I like that. I like that shit.
Mm-hmm.
And speaking of Halloween, me and Perry got our steelbooks as well. H2O is now out. We didn't have to spend $30 on the fucking set with that and Halloween. What was it? It was
The Erection.
It was 6, The Erection, and H2O in that set, and they're gonna put them out individually. I actually didn't either, because I think it was one of those things where like I had it pre-ordered and I was gonna get it, and then I just canceled it because I was like, I don't really need this right now, like one of those things. And then the steelbook comes out for $22, $23, whatever, 20, whatever we spent on it. And I haven't watched the transfer yet, but I do like the design of it. It's a cool artwork. So I'll probably just wait for. I mean, I'll get Halloween 6 on Steelbook, but I don't really want Resurrection, but they're gonna get me on Resurrection. But I'm not, as long as I can get it for the $20 that they're asking. Because if I could spend $60 for these 3 instead of $130 that they're asking for that set, I'll take it. But yeah, I don't know if they lower the price on the big set, but
130, give me all the fucking movies. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I mean, because they're gonna do the 4K set and all this shit. So it's like they're gonna do all this, and like me and Perry got the Scream 3 Steelbook coming next week. I think that's coming out, Perry.
Yeah, did you know on the 4K set they put the Blu-ray of the documentary in there, and people are like, "Wow, you got a 4K set with a freaking Blu-ray documentary."
Yeah, that's so weird, actually. It's almost like they didn't want to use the resources to put it on there. But it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, a blue case with all the black cases.
Yeah, it's like, dude, just like put it on there. Even if it doesn't take up the whole 4K disc, just put it on there. But yeah, so the Scream 4K Steelbook is $25. So that's coming. I'm probably gonna have to reorder it because
says Mark Main, you're twerking? This guy's still twerking after all these years.
Damn. It's still popular.
Hope the leaves get some color on them this year. Probably not. They all freaking fell off already.
Well, I was gonna say. I mean, around here they're not really. They're starting to fall, but it's like the colors aren't changing yet. But what I like is if you go up to like, or even like when I went up to Perry's, I think it was last fall. It was like the perfect time because you can actually see everything starting to change color, especially like in the mountains and stuff. You can see everything. It's like that I love. Like especially in PA, same thing. Like I love seeing the mountains and seeing all the stuff change and whatnot. Really cool and really peaceful. And yeah, it's a cool time of year. And I like to, as far as like the Halloween. I was gonna say for Dread, he's lucky because I'd love to do the Halloween Horror Nights in Universal over there, because they do all horror themed stuff.
what
They
we
set
should
up
do?
houses and stuff.
Maybe next
know?
year, the year after, we should all just fucking go to Florida and do all that.
Well, to be honest with you, I'd rather go to Florida and do Universal than Disney. I think Disney's a ripoff and a scam, to be honest with you. I mean, it's fun, right? You do it a few times, but you're spending like thousands of dollars.
That's if you sleep
where-
there. You don't sleep there. You just go there.
That's
and-
true, but Universal, in my opinion,
here's what
is
you
better.
do, Anthony. We know a
It's
guy in
cheaper.
Florida called Dreadpool. He buys us the tickets, and we get them for half off.
Oh, there you
and
go.
then we go.
Yeah,
To all the parks.
we set it up. Road trip, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
we
good.
get a hotel right by his house. And we'll fucking
And well,
hang
and
out down
Universal,
there.
and the thing is Universal is more. I mean,
We should
look, it's
just fucking
expensive
do
no matter
it
what park
because
you go
what am I
to.
doing in my life? You know what I mean? Let's
I'm
just all
down.
fucking go on Halloween down there next year.
I'm down. I'll be graduated from college by then, so I'm down.
We should
It's
just
not
do
a bad
it.
idea.
Plan
We
a
could put
big
a pin in
fucking
that
Halloween
plan.
bash down there.
Yep. Are we
And
driving
Dreadpool
down
will
there
take
too?
us to the best places too.
Well, yeah, we would do a road trip for sure. I mean,
I'm down to
that's-
do a road trip.
Perry doesn't fly. He doesn't mess with that.
I'm like John Madden. I do not fly.
Yeah, man. I mean, look, I always wanted to check it out because I was in California in August, and when I went into their shop, and this is in California, but they do the same thing where Universal in California and Florida they do Horror Nights, but they had merch for this October's Horror Nights. It had an Exorcist shirt. And it was white with like red, and it had like, because they always promote movies that are going on, obviously. And they had an Exorcist glass. Like I should have got it just to kind of bring it back as like, memorabilia, because it's something I can't get physically, unless they put it online. But yeah, it was just cool to see that, And I heard, Horror Nights is cool no matter where you go, whether it's Florida, California,
California.
But
The governor. California.
but yeah, so yeah, that's something to think about.
Dude, when he was sworn in, you had to play the Terminator music in the background.
How can you not? Yeah, it's just so iconic,
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I
Somebody
think
has
there's.
a birthday. He's got his little donkey and his little horse.
I think it was. Speaking of birthdays, I think we shout out to Cam and May. I'm pretty sure it's his birthday, so happy birthday to you,
Happy
buddy.
birthday
Happy
to
birthday.
Cam and May.
I know he said that
Happy
earlier.
day.
Was
I know
yesterday, he said.
Oh, okay,
Happy
so
day
yeah,
of birth. Happy belated day
happy
of birth.
birthday to that.
You guys want to hear from Frank?
Do you want to hear from Frank?
Let's hear from Frank. Let's
Let's
hear
hear
about him from. Let's hear what he has to say about the Xbox going all digital, Brooklyn, and then we'll hear from Frank about Jim Ryan getting fired.
Oh
Check
wow,
it
he
out.
did a double whammy.
Played by Titantron. Wouldn't be a Titantron, Titan Sports Tron. It would be the Tron.
Hello! I'm here again to talk to you guys about the current Xbox situation. I woke up the other morning and saw a photo of a round Xbox, and I was pretty shocked to say the least. I read up on it and
It looks like you got
learned
no
about the
sleep.
Brooklyn, the future Series X
looks like a
replacement or
ghost.
refresher or whatever you want to call it. It's
It's
fine with me that it's all digital. The new controller looks cool. I'm interested to see how they implement the haptic feedback and stuff like that. I was hoping it would be a little bit cheaper since we're going to be further into the gen. I was thinking maybe they could drop that price a little bit, but apparently it's going to have more storage and stuff like that. So they're keeping it at the same price. I'll probably swap out one of my Series X consoles for this one. I'm not going to run out and swap them all out because it's pretty much the same power, but I would like to check one out. So
Yeah,
when those go up, maybe I'll get rid of one of these other ones and swap it out for that one.
Bring it here.
So be on the lookout for that.
Bring it to me.
I saw they're going to remaster or
Give it
remake
here.
Fallout 3 and Elder Scrolls Oblivion.
Oh my
I'm
god.
pretty excited about those. Those are awesome games. I love those games. So I'll definitely be checking those out again. It's funny, too. It came out that Microsoft wanted to buy Nintendo, which Perry's been saying forever. It's just funny that it's actually out now in writing after, you've heard it here on this show. And obviously it makes sense with their partnerships and the proximity, where they're at and all that. It's not on the cards for them right now, I guess. But, hey, it could happen someday. So it's definitely on their radar to get Nintendo, which we've been saying. So that was pretty cool. I'm not too excited about the future of Xbox with this cloud hybrid thing for 2028. We really don't know what it's going to entail, and that's going to be, 4 or 5 years away. So, we'll see what happens with that. Maybe things will change, and it's not what I'm thinking it is in my head. I really don't want to stream games. I want to download them. So PC is looking really good for me right now, but we don't know all the details about that. So I'm going to wait and see what they have to show off in a couple of years and see where we're at with the technology and make a decision then about picking up the console. But hope you guys are having a great time. Hope you guys are playing games and having fun. And I will see you all later.
All right, let's listen to him about Jim Ryan. Oh man, I can't hear him.
To quickly record this. Jim Ryan is gone.
All right, let's do that again.
When I tell you guys, I sprinted out here after hearing this news to quickly record this. Jim Ryan is gone. Just like we told you, just like we thought, there can only be one. It would be 2 men entering the arena. When that Activision deal was done, one of them was out of there, and Jim Ryan is out of there. And we don't know for sure if this is a direct relation to the Activision deal, but
awesome.
Either way, we knew one of them would be standing and one of them wouldn't. So I guess for now, Phil still has a job. Jim's out of here. Lying, crying, flying, Jim Ryan, Harry Crumpets. He's out by March. I think he's fully out of here, I just read, and that's it. So we'll see what's next for Sony. Hopefully we'll get somebody good in there, but who knows? This is crazy, guys. When I tell you guys, I sprinted out here after hearing this news.
Yeah, you know what you got to do? You got to buy you got to have a background that says Pornhub acquired by RedTube, and then play him say, "When I heard this news, I sprinted out here." He's in big trouble now that he did that, because I'm totally going to do that.
Oh, no.
When I tell you guys, I sprinted out here after hearing this news.
You could even have
when I tell
you
you
could
guys,
have Jeff
I
wake up behind him. You know what I
sprinted
mean? Like
out
wake
here
up in the
after
shop. You
hearing
could feel like waking up. Like
Did you ever think he'd be on the Tron and he wouldn't be on the show?
no,
He's like Zordon now.
that's cool as hell. That
When I tell you
we
guys,
kind of got
I
his thoughts though,
sprinted
because
out
yeah, I
here
mean that
after-
it's cool to hear him drop in to kind of give updates with this. Because it's crazy. I mean, he's been with us all along as we've been all predicting this stuff together. So yeah, I just think it's cool to hear him talk about those things.
I gotta play that for 2 seconds.
When I tell you guys, I sprinted out here after hearing this news.
Hey guys, we
When I
got
tell
good
you
news. Just
guys,
imagine
I
Jeff waking up behind
When
him.
I tell you guys, I sprinted out here after hearing this
Yeah,
news.
yo, Jeff was ready to throw hands.
Yeah,
For
he
what?
was ready. No,
Remember
like when he woke up, when he said
you
it
scared him.
Oh yeah.
Put that behind Frank in the green screen. Wake up, Jeff. We got great news. I came out here when I heard
I don't
the
even
news.
know why I named that video Bark. The video's like bark.avi or something like that.
Park.
Bark MKV
Oh.
or whatever it is.
I remember.
Oh,
I think I
Jesus.
remember because me and Frank were there when you
We
pieced it
had,
together. And
dude, we had to piece that footage together with the audio, and we got it. We nailed that audio
spot on. Yeah.
with no tools. Mean material. Well, yeah, he's in trouble now.
That's killer.
Yep.
I guess I'll check deal of the day.
Yeah, I'll check out our sponsors over on
Deal of the day.
Patreon.
Deal of the day. WD Black internal SSD, 2 terabytes, 139. We got a Honeywell Insight air purifier for 169. Bella Pro Series air fryer for $18. SanDisk 1 terabyte external for 109. It's like the same shit. Oh, you can get a hedge trimmer for $175.
Ooh.
You can get a USB for $20, ultra thin for $13. You can get a set of cutlery for $25. A shitty projector for $180. A shitty vacuum for $350, and a kitchen aid for $40. Which is a mixer. So there you go.
Yeah, the one's good.
Pretty crappy deals.
Expensive shit.
As far as physical media, we do got a bunch of stuff coming out in October. Like we mentioned, some of those 4Ks are coming out. We got The Exorcist coming out. The Best Buy Steelbook's already out for that, but I didn't get that. Believe it or not, I am getting the other edition Steelbook. So,
What was delivered? Ghostbusters and Carlito's Way got delivered. It's in the living room. I don't even have it.
I have Ghostbusters right over there. It looks
like
great.
The 20th 4K of Ghostbusters that I have.
I'm done after that Steelbook. I'm
Yeah,
done.
me too.
I
still got 2 or 3 of the collector's editions in the closet.
Right.
I never got rid of them.
I want them to release the Ecto Cooler again. That was great.
That was awesome.
That should always be a thing. I don't know why that's not always a thing.
I remember I went out in the pouring rain to track that down, and it was worth it.
I was there when it was delivered to your shop, Perry.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
When you got it delivered, I was there.
I want to thank our sponsors over on Patreon: JB Zombie 89, Abo, Hockey Fan, and Captain Catch. Who I remember, I told Captain Catch Jim Ryan wasn't going to last. And
Right.
He's like, I think he'll do okay.
And here we are in 2023.
Yeah.
Well, now he knows that we're the real ones, huh?
Yeah.
We told him.
Try to read the writing on the wall and try to,
I told him. I said he wasn't going to last. And he's like, I think it'll be fine.
Oh yeah, King. Yeah, Frank was happy that you came back. Yeah, he was.
It's
Because
funny,
I remember
Frank,
when we were hanging out, he was like, "Yeah,
the King
King's back." I
returns
was like,
and Frank
"He's
leaves.
back?" Yeah, I was hanging out with them, and I was like, "Oh, he's back." And then I think I streamed like the next day or the day after, and then you were in my chat, and I was like, "All right, well, I guess he's back." So
The King is back.
yeah, so that was
The King is in the building.
It was a big deal for us. But yeah,
Let me pull up the stuff from tonight. If you guys will just bear with me here.
You know? Well,
Here we go. Super chats from tonight. Dreadpool with $2, RWK with $1.99, It's VB with $4.99, Richard
you.
with $2 super chat from tonight. Thank you guys. We appreciate the super chats.
Thank you.
appreciate
Let's
it.
see who our members are. Active members. We have Stevie Mack, who's a member now, thanks to Nick Noguera. We have Jin, Dreadpool, David R, RWK88, Thunders Productions, It's VB, Hockey Fan, and the man himself, Nick Noguera. And Liquor Sandwich. Okay, I had to scroll down here. Thank you guys for being members of the Game Complainers podcast over on YouTube over here.
Thank you.
Huge shout out and
Thank
thank
you
you
guys.
to Noof Nukem. Appreciate it.
Yeah, that was
Thanks
awesome.
for
You're
coming
awesome,
on,
Noof.
buddy. He just
That was
messaged
a
me
nice
and said,
surprise.
To go.
yeah, he messaged me tonight and said, hey, you invited me on. I could come on tonight. I was like, okay, great. Perfect.
Yeah.
So it was really cool of him. And again, he's got an open pass. He could show up whenever he wants, just like Dreadpool.
It's always great to have other people on that, especially they're in with what we do. You know what I mean? Like they keep up on all the stuff they talk about. They're passionate about it, so they make content. So yeah, it's always great to have other like-minded people on here and to hear some different opinions.
Yeah. Shout out to Mike Mullis, who's going to try to have us on his the original Next Level Gaming podcast that he does.
Oh yeah,
He's moving that podcast over to Rumble, so check him out on YouTube and follow his links to get you over to Rumble.
yeah. Hopefully we can get on there on the 17th if everything works out with the
Yeah, I think the
scheduling. We'll see.
17th is better because we'll all be available. I don't want like me and Fred to go on and not you, or me to go on and nobody else.
Yeah, definitely.
He said he wanted the Game Complainers, so he's going to get the Game Complainers.
Right. Oh yeah,
Sweet.
that's cool. If we can make that work, that'll be awesome.
Yeah, it'll be a lot easier.
It'll be cool.
Shout out to Dreadpool once again. He set a lot of this stuff up.
Yes, thank you, man.
He is the unsung hero of this podcast.
Hell yeah, Dread.
So shout out to
Appreciate
Dreadpool.
that.
I have his.
Nice.
Hang on, let me get you his link to his various sites and his shop. Oh, this might just be the link for the shop. Go to Dreadpool's shop and buy a hoodie. It's getting fucking cold outside.
Hell yeah. Buy a Dreadpool hoodie.
You know,
fall
Dreadpool, he's got to
time.
collaborate with the King and make the Christmas sweater.
Oh yeah. Telling you,
I was gonna
King.
say the ultimate Dreadpool King Christmas sweater collaboration has to happen.
That would be the collaboration
We thought-
of the century.
You say that, but we thought that Dreadpool killed Eddie that one time.
Yeah, I mean, shit. He's back though.
So,
I gotta
Fred,
make a cut. Yeah.
where in Florida are you staying? You're really going to be in Tampa.
I'm gonna be in Gardner, Florida.
You're going to
That's where I'm
garden in
gonna be.
Florida?
No, it's Gardner, Florida. That's what it's
Gardner.
called. Yeah. It's gonna be at my wedding is at Baker's Ranch.
Your
if you
wedding
know
is
where
at
that
Baker's
Brad.
Ranch. The Bunny Ranch?
No.
John Bobbitt going to marry you?
Hugh Hefner?
Hugh Hefner.
Hugh Hefner?
You guys always
Ron Jeremy. Yeah, Ron Jeremy's my best man.
Dude,
Oh,
that
man.
motherfucker's in jail.
Yeah.
Never heard of it?
Oh,
See?
never heard of it? Oh.
You're going to the wrong
Dang.
place in Florida.
But yeah, I'll find out what the hotel is that I'm staying at, and then I'll keep you posted on it, Dread.
You said that's by Tampa, right?
I think it is. I'm not sure. I gotta look it up. Let me look it up. I'm gonna look it up.
Tell everybody where you're at.
Yep. I'm gonna be at this location, like 42 degrees.
And here's my
longitude,
address, and here's my social security.
I just ordered a new social security. I had to. Mine was like destroyed. Let's see. What the fuck?
Yeah, they
is
make
this
those
place?
things out of like money paper.
Yeah, I know,
What the
right?
fuck?
Yeah, it's like tissue
It's
paper.
in my wallet. You
It's like,
pull it out, the whole thing rips apart. It's like, why is
Yeah.
this thing ripping?
Let me see. Oh, it's Parish, Florida. Sorry, not Gardner.
Paris?
Parish.
Parish? Like you're gonna perish after Dreadpool
Yeah.
meets you, beat you up?
I'm perishing. I'm perishing.
Perishable goods, no canned goods.
It's next to Fort Hammer. What the hell?
These names, I can't.
It near Arcadia. Did Ludwig sign in as Dreadpool?
Oh, it's 4 hours away.
Oh man. Well,
Damn.
Well,
on
Fred,
the road
yeah.
again.
you're gonna have to take the monorail from Disney to go visit Dreadpool.
Yeah, yabba dabba do really be like
Parish
that
is much
sometimes.
closer.
Yeah, it's in Parish. That's where the place is.
You should meet up with Dreadpool. You should go.
Oh, 2 hours away? That's not bad at all.
Take him to McDonald's.
Yeah, definitely. I'll let
Hey,
you know
McDee's.
what the when I find out where the what hotel we're staying at, I'll let you know.
Yeah, you're gonna make him drive 2 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll meet you
no,
halfway.
because I'm not the one driving. It's up to my friends. I'm driving my friends. I mean, shit, I could take an Uber.
Just take an Uber to Dreadpool's house. Get a public.
Get a
sub.
pub. Ooh, yeah, definitely. My friend that I work with now, he actually used to live in Florida and used to work at Publix. He used to be a manager there, so
Oh yeah, and he
Told
got
me
fired
about it.
for what?
I don't know.
Oh, I'm just messing around, man. I don't know.
I don't know either.
Check out
don't
Dreadpool's
know.
shop. It's in the chat room.
Yes. Yeah, I
Buy a
gotta try
hoodie.
Publix sub. Definitely. Oh, I gotta try Raising Cane's down there too.
Raising Cane.
Yeah, one of
It's a horror
my
movie.
we're actually getting one around here, believe it or not. in
Really?
Jersey. Yeah. I'm like,
Oh.
what the actual fuck? Like, what the hell?
We gotta go to
They're
Anthony's
expanding.
house at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I go to Uncle Giuseppe's all the time over there.
Especially if you guys are around here, like we'll be able to actually like, there's like we're near a lot of cool
Ooh,
stuff.
He hid the salami in the whole.
Yeah, definitely. There's like a whole bunch of stuff over there in Jersey.
Take all my
Yeah.
money, please. Well, okay,
I
you
would take
got
you
a
guys.
lot of it. And you want to
I'd take
give it
you guys
away?
to I'd take you guys to Philly because we're pretty
Ooh.
close to Philly. Some really
Listen,
cool.
I think we should
spots.
do Halloween in Florida, and I think we should do WrestleMania in Philly. All right.
That'd be cool. I mean, look, I heard about those prices for those tickets for WrestleMania, and I was just like, what is this, Taylor Swift?
Well,
But,
it's 2
you
nights,
know,
so we could go to one
I know.
night.
Yeah.
Or we could go to Philly, get a nice fucking suite, and just watch WrestleMania.
I mean, look,
just
either
fucking
way,
Sign in
like
the
a
Peacock. Sign in the Peacock. Just
Big cock.
Yeah,
What?
do they actually still have the like if you actually get a pay-per-view, is that through like
Just do Peacock.
You just pay
It's through
$5 and
Peacock?
you get the whole thing.
Oh, okay, that's good.
You don't have to buy anything anymore.
Yeah, my dad used to have to call, and you have to use to call the company and order it on the like the pay-per-view thing. You have to
put
call
in
them
the
and then
passcode or something
turn
like
into the
that.
channel.
Yeah,
and
then,
the
then
channel
after you're
would
done
update.
taping the paper, you call the cable company. Yeah, it never came on. I was waiting on channel 65. Oh no, it was on channel 66. We'll refund you.
take your $70 back. Thank you. Yeah, man.
I had to
Good
scramble
days.
it though. I was good. I was able to get
Yeah,
all
there
the
you go.
WWE.
I gotta get a Philly cheesesteak in Philly.
Oh, I mean, dude, it's delicious. It's so
And I
good.
want to run up the Rocky steps again.
Yeah, you have to. I mean,
I don't know
that's
if I
the
can eat a
tradition.
Philly cheesesteak, but I got my nuts.
It's a cool especially like this time of year. Like fall's a great time over here. It's not too cold, you know. This is like November
The
onward.
last
is,
couple
like,
of
when it
nights were
just starts
good.
getting Oh yeah, even today. I mean, because
I
today
wanted
was
to
the first day
fucking
we
sit
didn't have
outside
rain.
last night and eat dinner, but I
It
couldn't.
was raining for like a week straight over here, and it
Yeah.
finally was nice today. And I was like, "Oh, thank God."
We had
You
a
know?
huge flood on Sunday, right there.
Yeah, right. We got a rowboat. We had to fucking row to get help. It was like separate ways. Fucking idiots. They canceled the fucking thing, and they postponed it for 2 weeks. It's like I'm not even gonna be able to do it
Yeah.
because it's my anniversary week. My wife took the whole week off.
Yeah, you got stuff going on.
We got shit going on. I'm not gonna
Yeah,
fucking
definitely.
do all. And Fred's going away for the wedding, so I'm not gonna have help.
Right.
So I'm not
Yep.
doing it. He was gonna fucking help. I had to pay him. I had to pay him cash because, you know, I promised to pay him for helping us out, and then they fucking did this.
And he showed up, and it was like,
No, he didn't show up. I was just like, just come here. I'll give you the money. It's not a big deal. Because I promised to pay him.
I
Like,
appreciate it.
You can't tell somebody, hey, I'm going to pay you. And then be like, oh, you know, they canceled that shit, so fuck you.
Yeah,
and
right.
The $50 I was going to give you.
This
So
fucking place, man. I can't stand it.
Did you at
I hate
least stay
this
open
place.
for like a few customers though? Did you at least make something?
I don't know. It's the 8th. They moved it to the 8th.
And I'm saying like the day it was canceled, like were you just there because you were already there that Saturday? Did you just stay open for a little bit, or were you just like fuck it, I'm just gonna?
I don't even know what. I think we just hung out. Nobody came
Yeah,
in.
we
Right.
did. Yeah, we
Oh,
hung
okay.
out on Sunday. Yeah, we just hung out.
Saturday, a lot of people came in. Sunday, nobody came in.
So I mean, at least you got one of those days. You got some, some.
Nobody
business.
came in because they
Yeah.
fucking told everyone it was going to flood. And it,
Yeah, don't come to the
barely
town,
rained.
basically. Yeah,
And the fucking thing said rain or shine.
yeah, it's
And they
bullshit.
canceled like 2 days before. Like
Shine
Well, it's
your
also
ass.
inconsiderate because they don't care about
All the
businesses
vendors
that
pulled
have to
out
set
because
shit
they're
up.
like, we're busy in 2 weeks. We can't do this shit.
Yeah, I was gonna say you had to set up the cart and everything with the
And
consoles.
imagine the food vendors had to buy food for that day.
Oh
and
yeah,
and 2 days before, they tell them they can't do it.
yeah.
they
They got to
already
set up
wasted money.
somewhere else just to sell through shit. Yeah.
I wasted money on the tripod for the TV. $78
Yep.
fucking dollars down the toilet. I wasted money on brackets. I wasted money
Yep.
on screws. Tons of shit. It's because nobody
Some
knows what the fuck
bullshit.
they're doing.
Yeah.
Where's everyone going? Bingo.
Bingo.
Hey, Anthony, how close are you to Point Pleasant Beach?
Point Pleasant Beach.
Donald Pleasant speech.
Donald Pleasant. I'd have to
Donald
check, actually. I don't know off the
Pleasance.
top
He's
of
in
my
a
head.
Loomis is.
Loomis is
Loomis
in a
is
thong on
beach.
the beach.
Michael, take it off, Michael.
Michael.
Did he wear a mankini
I
again?
met him
Uh,
15 years ago. The darkest eyes. The devil's eyes.
So
There
Point
is
Pleasant
balls.
is an hour 21 away from me.
Oh, really? Oh, I
Yeah.
was really close to you because me and my
Wasted money
girlfriend
on
went
the
there for our
Fire TV.
anniversary.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No, I don't think I've ever actually been to that beach in
Or
particular,
Fire
but I
TV.
think is this near Asbury Park?
Oh.
Probably
Whenever I
is.
hear Asbury Park, I think of the Beast from the East, Bam Bam Bigelow. Bam Bam Gigolo? Bam Bam Bigelow?
Oh, okay. Yeah, so it's 21 minutes away from Asbury, so it's right near where my friend lives down that way too. So yeah,
Okay.
I've been through there a bunch of
Nice.
times.
Yeah, I went there in August for me and my girlfriend's anniversary. We went there. I
Yeah, no,
promised her I'd
that's a
take her to
nice
the beach.
it's a nice beach town. There's cool arcades and
Mhm.
there's yeah, my buddy's in Eatontown right over there, so he's like around there.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
good. Like, we ate at like this cool little seafood spot. It was like actually really, really good.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I lost my glasses in the ocean.
That happens to the best of us though, you know.
Yeah, yeah. Like I couldn't see the
It
whole
happened to
ride
Callie
home.
this summer. She lost her not her glasses, but like her sunglasses, her nice ones. A wave
Oh,
hit and I was just like, they're gone.
yep.
You just gotta
Mhm.
deal with it. They're
Yep.
gone. You're not gonna find it.
Yeah, mine
It's-
were my prescription sunglasses.
Ah,
So
that's
like
even
literally
worse.
like and like I called the eye doctors like, yeah, you can get some new pair tomorrow. It's like, well, I'm already like about like 2.5 hours away, so I guess I'm driving home blind.
Yeah,
So
it's like,
that's
guess
what
I
I
gotta
did.
deal with this now. Yeah.
Got
Yeah, because
pulled
my
over.
girlfriend
How much have you been drinking? I haven't been drinking. Why were
I
you
have been drinking. I
swerving?
can't see.
I aimed for the road in the middle. That's what I did while I was on freaking the Garden State
Yep.
Park where I was just like, oh boy.
Sir,
That
why
was
being
fun.
combative? I'm not being combative. I can't see.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's what they
my
all
girlfriend
say.
was gonna drive, but she's just like she has a lot of anxiety while she drives. So if she drove on the Garden State Parkway, I think that would not be a good idea.
Yeah, you got to deal with the 3 lanes,
Mm,
4 lanes.
The
You know what
rush
I mean?
hour
Wham,
crap
bam,
too and
jiggle.
everything. Yeah. Yeah, so I just drove and like it wasn't too bad. Like I could see it was blurry as hell, but I just stayed in like the slow lane and just took
Yeah,
my
did your
time.
thing.
It took
Yeah.
you 65 hours to get home.
Got home in like a week.
You know, I can't even eat these because I think I ran out of water.
Not H2O.
That's some high quality H2O right there.
Oh, I
H2O.
have some inside. I don't even know. These freaking nuts.
I saw this thing like on like Facebook. I think it was like if Bobby Boucher and Forrest Gump like played football together, like if they played like an rival
Forrest Gump
team.
would fucking smoke that dude. Come on.
Oh hell yeah!
That motherfucker can't play football, Adam Sandler. He makes movies thinking he can play football, but he can't. Forrest Gump would outrun that motherfucker.
From that day on, I don't know. If that's...
He would
I
bore he
was-
would bore the shit out of Bobby Boucher with his fucking stories.
Is that there a football? I played football a bunch of times back in college.
I like
I
how
could play it.
AMC turned the Forrest Gump trailer into a horror movie. Did you ever see that, Fred?
That's funny.
Oh, it just sounds hilarious.
You sent that to me, Perry.
Dude,
That's
because
awesome.
because there's a scene where he writes on the boat Jenny. He names the boat Jenny, and they just play like horror music, and it just shows him like he's a stalker writing Jenny on the boat. Hang on, I'll link that. Just give me a second. Let me find it.
Oh my god, I need to see this. Oh,
AMC Forrest
Michael drink the king's beer.
Jenny,
Not
can
yet.
you hand me that knife over there, Jenny?
Forrest Hump.
I promise it won't hurt.
I promise it won't hurt. It's just gonna
I
tickle.
got it. I'm gonna paste
Nice.
it.
Oh, I gotta see this.
Guys, you gotta watch this shit. Watch it right now, Fred. Come on.
I'm doing it right now on my phone. Right now, it's doing it happening.
You know what? Don't do that because the audio.
Oh, it's gonna like play back. Yeah.
Play it in your headset.
So I can like.
Put it on your computer.
Oh yeah, true. All right, I'll do that.
I'm gonna watch it too.
There's what Forrest Gump would be like.
Where's YouTube?
Wait, I think people could hear that.
Wait, can they hear it on yours?
If I play it, they might be able to hear it.
Cared for.
Yeah, I'll try mine. See if it.
Aside
She was my special friend, my only friend.
and sent him
Ah.
over the edge.
Yeah, sign in. Am I not signed in on here?
Dude, just click the link. Who cares about signing in?
No, I have to sign into YouTube.
Bye, Jenny. That was easily the best line. I like the comment.
I wish you could play that.
I also like how it's still in like 4x3.
Yeah.
Like it's like, you know what I mean? Like it's like something you would see like actually in a, you know, like an old school like 90s trailer.
Yeah.
Fatal Obsession. I like how it says Fatal Obsession. That's so funny.
Dude, that is like the best. Fred still can't watch it.
I'm trying. I'm just gonna look it up on the.
No, look it up. Just click the link.
Yeah, no, I'm doing that right now.
Type Forrest Gump AMC, and it's the first one.
Whoa, that is a. Yes, join the chat. I never went into a live stream on YouTube before, like on the computer. So this is weird. Got it. There we go.
Subscribe to Fred's channel. He's gonna start streaming on his own.
Hell yeah.
He was using us. He was a clout chaser the whole time.
Yep.
His work is done.
His name is Fred Pool.
Fredpool.
My only friend.
Muhammad said life is like, and it shows him loading a gun. Like,
It's the way they cut it is so perfect.
Fantastic. I can't even watch it because it's gonna play the audio. Well, I think Separate Ways was great. Like we talked about a little earlier. I think it's worth the $10. You know, people are complaining about it. I'm like, it's $10 fucking dollars. Not like they're charging
Yeah,
you
no.
20.
You're
I
not
love
spending
that.
50 like you had to
That
back
was awesome.
then, you know.
You like the trailer?
Oh, it's great. Why don't you love me?
I like how they cut it like, you know, like it was like for horror, but like that wasn't definitely done around their horror, like, you know, their horror marathons for the time of year. So, you know, they just were having fun doing that.
Yeah.
So it's like, that's what makes it even better. It's like, it's not even a Halloween like promo that they had during the time. It's literally just like, they just cut it for that. That's what makes it even better.
Oh, it's great. I loved it. This was awesome. So yeah, Forrest Gump will win, hands down.
Yeah.
Yeah, he beat Bobby Boucher. That's a funny parody trailer. Yeah, I only share the funny stuff, man.
That's what we do up in this.
Try to.
Yeah, we tried to. You want to check one last time? See if there's any crazy stuff going on Twitter or
Yeah.
anything? Let me see if there's
just
anything
double
going on
check.
in wrestling over here. Anybody got fired again?
Jungle Boy gets promoted. What?
See here. Anything else from Wario? Anything else for... I don't see anything. There is a deal going on right now at Walmart where it's like 20% off the site with a code that Wario tweeted. I guess it's for like video games and stuff.
Yeah, it
too.
didn't work when I tried it. He said it was only going to work for a short time. It worked for like a half an hour.
Damn.
I tried to get Spider-Man.
Bummer. Yeah, because Super Mario RPG was $48 with it. A couple others, but yeah, it looks like it probably changed. Anything else trending? Who cares about Saul 10? The fuck? Come on.
Saw 10. Why do they keep on making freaking Saws? Cheese and
Make
rice.
some money.
Yeah.
Counter-Strike 2 is streaming. Well, everyone's streaming. It's trending, but everyone's streaming it, of course. Yeah, nothing else on here. Last of Us Season 2 is back in production today, but we already knew that.
Who was cast as Abby? Because they casted Abby, but I don't know if they said who it was.
I think it was. I don't know. I think it was. I'm pretty sure Abby was in Season 1 for like a split second, and I don't know if they're gonna use that same actress. You just see someone like look at her
Yeah,
from a
but they
distance,
said-
and you're just like,
They said last week that they cast her, so they know who it is. I
yeah,
don't know
they
if that
well,
was
well,
revealed.
that's what I was saying. So what we probably saw was like a younger Abby, and what we're gonna see is now like an older Abby, obviously. So they're probably gonna, they probably casted her as.
I don't know who they casted. That's what I was wondering, but I guess they're not.
Well,
telling
yeah,
anybody.
I was gonna say they're probably gonna keep it under wraps, but they probably made her, look a little bit older. Probably,
Arnold.
Make her buff like they did.
Oh, The Last of Us. What happened? You were a zombie game, and now you're a freaking Netflix love movie story type thing.
Yeah. I mean, it's not the worst live adaptation I've ever seen, but there's a lot of flaws with it.
This
With
channel
Last of Us.
kicks ass. There's no way Ada would be wearing heels and a terrarium should be sinking into the ground. So what's going on here, real quick? How many fucking costumes are hidden in this stupid DLC? Like 10?
Well, I mean, if you beat it on the different modes, there's one for Wesker. You put him in the suit. There's Ada has the dress, and Luis has his original outfit from RE4, the OG one, which is cool.
No, nobody wants that outfit.
I mean, it looks cool. It literally looks almost the same. But
That's the worst part.
the outfit for Leon, the RPD outfit, is also unlockable, but you got to do the mercenary stuff.
Mhm.
So I think that's it for RE4.
Happy birthday, Frank. Oh, that's right. Happy birthday, Frank.
Happy day of birth,
Happy birthday, Frank.
Oh, happy birthday. Well, we'll hear from him again. Here.
When I tell you guys, I sprinted out here after hearing this news.
Wait. Give me 1 second. And we can do this the right way. How old is he today? He was born in what? 91? So he's what? 32?
32. Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, he's 32.
That's awesome.
Hells yeah.
Okay, I think I got it. I don't know if this image is good or not. All right, hold up. This is the AVI. Come on, man. What are the PNGs anymore?
I know, right?
HD image 1080p. Give me that. This isn't even 1080. I typed in 1080p. I'm not getting 1080p. I'll take it if it's a. Okay, that's good. That's a JPEG. This should be good enough. I didn't even think. Oh, it's the isn't it the Fall Festival in Resident Evil 2 today? September 28th, daylight.
RE3. Hell yeah.
Oh,
Yep,
hey, whoa.
that's it. Monsters have overtaken the city.
Do I have Instagram? Yeah, I do. I'll put my Instagram in the chat right now.
Okay, we need to fix this really quick. I need to go to. Then we can get out of here. Filters. Chroma key. That's fine. That's great.
When I tell you guys, I sprinted out
There you go.
here.
That's my Insta.
All right. Happy birthday to you.
Hell yeah.
Happy
Happy
birthday
birthday
to
to you.
you.
You can't even sing it because it's fucking copyrighted. Happy birthday. Happy.
Happy day of birth. Day of birth. Day of birth.
Happy
See,
birthday,
they say
Frank.
that, but like I still hear that song, like the employees sing it in restaurants, even though they're not supposed to. Like I still hear it.
Well,
So
they
it's like,
might
what-
pay
what-
a fee to do that.
Maybe. Happy
Feliz
birthday from
Navidad.
Applebee's to you. We wish it was your birthday so we
He
could
didn't
party too.
say-
Hey,
He said OnlyFans. Fred,
that's
do
a
you have
different kind of
OnlyFans?
subscription.
He wants to know
yeah,
what
I
he's,
do.
Dreadpool wants to know what he's going to see at the hotel. He gets there.
Bald slim cock 93. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh shit.
Oh, happy birthday to Frank. I didn't realize
Yes.
Yeah, happy birthday, Frank. You're awesome. We love you.
We miss you.
We miss you.
it. He still
I'll
looks bro, he still looks like Casper and the fucking ghost. He looks so white. This guy hasn't slept.
Maybe it's because I have him captured in my hole over there.
Yeah, the
It's-
vampire labyrinth.
I think he would
Yep.
want someone to capture him so he gets some freaking sleep.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, Frank, says Mark Main. Thank you.
Oh, yeah, I'll write him happy birthday on his Facebook too.
All right.
Well, I think we're going to end it for tonight. Once again, I want to thank Noof Nukem for coming on tonight. He was an awesome guest.
Oh yeah, we love you, Noof.
Thanks,
Definitely,
man.
Killer.
he could
That
come
was
on
fun,
whenever
so.
the hell he wants. And yeah, want to thank everybody for watching, everyone for hanging out tonight. It was awesome.
Yeah, fun show. Yeah, really fun.
It was awesome. So
Yeah.
It was
Hopefully
amazing.
hopefully when Frank comes back, he could be on the show with Noof as well.
Yeah, we do a little round table.
The birthday
Uh-huh.
song is no longer copyrighted. Okay, so happy birthday,
Birthday
to you.
to
Happy birthday.
birthday to you.
Alright, I'm not saying no more. Happy birthday, Frank. Shout out
Happy
to Noof
birthday,
Nukem.
Frank.
Check his channel out. And we will catch you guys later. Have a good
All right.
Take care, everyone.
Take care.
Yep, take care. Take care,
And we will
guys. Have a good
see.
night.
We will not see Anthony next week. We'll see Nick next week.
Yes, I'm gonna
Yep.
get a fill in. So, yay!
Nice.
What's his birthday wish? To get some sleep. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Good
All
night,
right,
guys. Good night,
Night.
everyone.
Gotcha.
Catch you
Peace
later.
Peace out.
Bye, guys.
Peace.
Yep.
These suckers. Where'd they all go? They left me alone here. All right. I'm out of here. Happy birthday.